his shoulder. I hit the switch and check the number. Leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The demolition, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio. Yeah!
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. In studio. Good morning, everybody.
Hi, Mike! Welcome back.
You know what?
It's not Flat Mike anymore.
It's not.
It's 3D Michael.
And you know what else is weird, weirdly enough? Is hearing myself talk at the same time I say it.
Oh, I know.
Like, for the last 2 weeks, I've been hearing me, and so when I was talking in my headphones right now, I'm so used to that I was, like, waiting for me to start talking a second later, and I'm like, wait a minute. It's real time.
Yeah, and it really, and a nod to your professionalism, because you never tipped showed your
There's
hand
a
on
couple
that.
times where it missed. Like, when I was doing weather and stuff, it was kind of messing with if I started, because then I started listening to me, and then I'm like, oh, wait. If I stop talking, there's dead air. I better start talking again.
Yeah, I fully understand, which is why on the other station, I don't use headphones.
Yeah.
It's the only time in my radio career, besides remotes, that I don't use headphones. Because if I do, there's a literal 2-second delay.
Yeah. Well, in all fairness, it's about a half second.
Yeah, yours wasn't bad. Mine is, it's rough.
And so, but I had to have them to hear everybody and say and respond to conversations and things.
You had to listen, like, intently, which is why I leave my, the cans on just in the background so I can hear that I'm on the air and go from there. But it really messes with timing, I think, more than anything else. We stomped on each other a lot. Yeah.
Well, I didn't think much about it till right now. Like, right when I started talking, I was putting the headphones on, like, oh, yeah, it's back to real time again. And it's working as it's supposed to. Yes. So, but thank you for everyone that, with the well wishes and everything else. And 2 weeks. I still have what people, everyone that's had COVID has told me is you're going to be tired for weeks.
Sure.
Weeks afterwards.
The fatigue.
Yeah, and I get that. Like, I did the remote on Saturday. We were out at Roswell Honda for their big family fun day and vehicle elimination event, and had a great time out there. But I was beat after that. I just was, and it wasn't. Matter of fact, Thomas and Chris, they had all the grunt work done.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I just literally set up the computers and talked.
You do the thing VD does where she just strolls in his talent.
Well, no, I had to set up the computers and everything, and I had to tear down the computers and everything. But it was not as they did most of the heavy lifting, and I kind of was, even at the end, I'm like, man. So I went home and took a shower and vegged for the rest of the day. I really didn't do much.
And that, as one should. Yeah, that's how you should do your Saturday. That's the right way to do it. It was hectic though. It was a busy couple of weeks. It was interesting. I feel like I've stepped my game up a notch.
Well, you and
my crisis game.
And Tanner and Roy are very helpful the last 2 weeks. Appreciate it. So,
absolutely. But I feel like I can deal with a little more under less stress now, if that makes sense. Like I don't feel like I'm going to lose my stuff as easily anymore. When you're thrust into crisis mode for 2 weeks solid, eventually the crisis wears off and you're just like, all right, let's just get to Monday.
I just wish we could have some of our salespeople do the job.
I wish we could have some of our salespeople understand what 2 weeks with one person in a production office is like. I just wish that. That's all.
Because everyone gets me, like, why are you yelling at everybody? I was like, because you people drive me crazy. And now, see, this is why. You see why.
Oh, yeah. No, 100%. I told Jamie I would give her a good solid week before I screamed at her for the first time.
It's like, this is why.
She's got a week. No, but it went well. It went really well. Good. And it all capped off, too, with a really interesting weekend, because with the skeleton crew that we had, I pointed this out to Gene on Saturday. with the skeleton crew that we had, we managed to pull off 3 high school football games, 2 college games, and a Cowboys game in one weekend.
And a remote.
And a remote.
And,
a Roswell remote.
and a country music festival.
And the biggest block party in southeastern New Mexico, which, by the way, everybody that came out to Red Dirt Black Gold, I know there's a few people here locally that came out. It was absolutely amazing to see all you guys out there. Easily over 1,000 people.
Good crowds. And
2 years, like I said, 2 years worth of festival packed into one. It was great.
And was that, they do it out the fairgrounds in Artesia? Or where did
No,
they
it was
do
Heritage
that?
Plaza.
Heritage Plaza,
Yeah.
okay.
Which, by the way, that made me laugh so hard because the way Artesia's set up, and Artesia is so tight anyways, like it's so compressed. Here's the main stage, and the ConocoPhillips main stage was massive. They had a huge stage, all the subwoofers. And then here's our tent. We had the brand wagon, the VIP tents, where I was set up to do my remote, and then literally, like I could have reached back and almost touched the front porch of this guy's house. I felt so bad for these people that lived right there.
Maybe they're Red Dirt Black Gold fans.
Maybe. But the guy yelled at Gene as he pulled up to unload his truck. So
did
I'm
he?
guessing probably not a huge fan. You can't turn your TV up enough to cover up the sound of what was happening Saturday night. It was so loud.
It wasn't our radio.
No.
Certainly not,
No.
because someone pilfered all of our sound abilities.
Some savage.
And that hasn't been replaced yet. So, fortunately, it was a concert, and we didn't need to blast up on ours.
Tana brought up a really good point, though. She's like, kind of need to find this. We're going to get new equipment for a long time had they not done something with it. Only reason we're getting the upgrade is because of somebody pilfering our old stuff.
Well, that's a case.
Just saying.
I don't know. Maybe we need a few arson
I made the
incidents.
joke when he did the police report. Mr. Dow, I don't believe Rolex makes a radio. It was a clock radio.
Oh, that's funny.
Not my bit, Ron White.
But yeah, it was a great weekend, and thank you to you and
Sure.
and these guys for helping and filling in, and yeah, I feel way better. I mean, like I said, I'm tired. Energy once in a while, I get kind of
Taste and smell.
Oh, I got that.
Okay.
Yeah. I
Now has it altered? Have you found your taste bud? You try something and it doesn't taste the same?
No, taste wasn't messed with too much,
Okay.
other than blandness. Smell, I didn't lose it 100%. I lost it to where I could still smell something really pungent or strong.
Sure.
But anything subtle, I didn't. Like, I couldn't smell my shampoo. And
Yeah,
then
that was a great text.
Thursday, I smelled my shampoo.
He texts a group text. He goes, "I smelled my shampoo." That's how you know you're really living in a different time. You can see a text like that, and you send back a "Heck yeah, bro!" thumbs up.
Suave never smelled so delicious.
Actually, I think my response was, "Did you do the herbal essences thing?"
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
yeah. I'll wash with what he's washing with.
Yeah, so I did lose it, but energy's my big one. I get tired, and
Let's say if you're really lost your sense of taste, we could always bring it back.
with that, no,
Yeah.
I have not lost.
You're like, no, I'm good.
Now I remember, was it like early last week or last weekend? We had ordered like Burrito Express or La Salsa, someplace we regularly get burritos from. We have a couple go-tos. And my wife had gone and ordered like DoorDash, whatever, and got some. And I remember eating it, and I was like, this just. At first, I'm like, damn, they didn't do it right this week. It doesn't taste right. And then I was like, oh yeah,
Oh, right,
it's
COVID
not them,
tongue.
it's me. And I was like, yeah, this tastes bland. Like my normal ground beef burrito just did not taste tasty. Just tasted.
They just didn't have it.
Yeah.
Now you could still get heat though, right?
Yeah, I got heat. But it just was. It was like it was like going back and getting Mexican food back home. It was like no taste to it. It just
Right.
it's like, hey,
It's like, yeah, it
where'd
makes
all the
sense.
zestiness go? It's gone.
It's like East Coast Mexican. I dig it. That's
Yeah,
that makes a lot of sense. Oklahoma Mexican food makes sense. Yeah, no, it's and that the reason I asked about the heat is because I found a bag over the weekend of the Doritos roulette chips. They brought them back.
Oh, really?
Yes. Here's the problem. I bought them. I was going to save them for the radio, but out of boredom, I cracked a bag. I ate literally half a bag, and I couldn't find a spicy chip.
Really?
Or at least not one that I thought was like, oh, this one's.
Well, see, that's the problem.
Yeah, they didn't turn it up enough. If they would have put like a Hellfire chip, like a Pocky chip, in the bag, then we'd be talking. But
somebody showed me a Pocky chip thing that someone was doing the other day, like here in the region,
right?
And I was like, yeah, we did that 2 years ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So, real? Oh, that's interesting. Is it who I think it was?
You know the person.
Glove McMitten?
No.
Oh, okay. I just assumed.
No. No. Farther south.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. No, gotcha. All right. Cool.
Mr. Hack.
Uh-huh.
Put it this way. Their whole life's a prep sheet.
Sparky.
Ding, 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 ding,
Yep.
ding, ding.
That's all the way over there right now. Everything is moved in this studio. My bell's over there. Flat mic's over there. It's pandemonium. Dogs and cats are mating over in this corner.
Ding, ding, ding.
I think all we're trying to say is welcome back.
Thank you.
I was so inside. I don't even care.
But I guess I should do the rundown.
Yeah,
I haven't done any of that stuff. I got to get my toes back into the normal life here.
Here are your live reads.
Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah, I got to get back into the swing of things here. It's gonna be a catch up week here. But let me give you the rundown for today's show. This hour we're gonna chit chat. We're gonna talk more. I got a bunch of stuff to chit chat about, so we'll chit chat about all those things this hour. We're gonna replay some interviews today. Next hour, we're gonna replay our interview we had last week with Leah Boone from Central Valley Electric, talking about home energy audits and employment opportunities. They're looking for front desk, the front receptionist, customer service rep there at the front there, basically the person that kind of greets everyone and takes care of their needs and things like that. So they're hiring for that position. But we'll play that for you. Oh, my pen, even better. We'll play that for you here next hour. And then in the 9 o'clock hour, we're going to replay our interview we had last week with Donna Blake Burchell. She's talking about the Historical Society's big book fair that's happening this Saturday. Rare, out-of-print, collectible books that the Historical Society has extras of. They're not giving away the stash. They're selling just the ones they have duplicates and things like. And like I said in the interview, they're keeping the good ones for themselves when it comes. Because some people are like, "What do you mean you're selling?" No. These are just the books that they have extras of. So these are rare, out of print books. Collectors, they're really cool. But anyway, we're gonna play that interview for you here about 9:15 or so. Plus, we'll have all of your other features that include the news, both of the local and national variety, and whatever else we can come up with for today's show. Before we do anything else, let's go ahead and get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Things look sunny and dry today with our afternoon high hitting about 90. Overnight looks clear with our low in the upper 60s, and then high pressure will stay in place over eastern New Mexico tomorrow. Sunshine and a little bit warmer with afternoon highs in the mid-90s. Clear Tuesday night and then sunny and hot again on Wednesday, about 95. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. And currently 68 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 87%. Winds are out of the east at 3 miles per hour. They're saying there's a 20% chance of rain this morning. And then another shot at some rain after 3 today. They say some storms could produce heavy rainfall. Mostly sunny. Otherwise, expect highs around 92 today with north winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight, we're looking at a 20% chance of showers and thunderstorms. So it looks like 3 to 9 3 p.m. to 9 p.m. is our sweet spot for thunderstorms today, although they say we could see one before 9 this morning. We'll see. Once again, they say some of the storms this evening could produce some heavy rainfall, otherwise partly cloudy, with an overnight low of 68 degrees, southeast winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tuesday, mostly sunny and a high of 95 with south winds 5 to 10. Tomorrow night, mostly clear, overnight low of 70, southwest winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Glancing at the rest of the week, mostly sunny and 94 for your Wednesday. Thursday, there's a 40% chance of showers with a high of 93. Friday, a 30% chance of showers, mostly sunny and 91. And weekend, 20% chance of rain on Saturday, sunny, highs near 90. 20% chance of rain on Sunday, highs near 90. Next week's Labor Day weekend, isn't it? Yeah. I don't have Monday's totals, but we'll see. I'll get that tomorrow. All right, it is 21 minutes after 7 o'clock. Let's go ahead and get you into your Roswell Livestock Report for you Monday morning with Smiley Wooten, and then we'll take a quick commercial break. We'll be back on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Good morning, this is Smiley Wooten at the Roswell Livestock Auction. A good August run this week with a nice selection of all classes of cattle, especially high-quality native calves and light yearlings with condition. We expect to sell 800 head, breaking down like this. 100, 125 weighing cows and bulls, 100, 125 pairs bred cows, 550, 600 calves and yearlings. Today's sale will include 15 to 20 cow-calf pairs. These pairs will be 4 to 8 years old. 29 bred cows, Mr. Neil Woodward, Fort Stockton, Texas. Excellent quality black and red Angus crossbred cows bred to Angus bulls, 7 to 10 years old. 31 bred cows, /G Cattle Company, Marfa, Texas. Good quality desert crossbred cows bred to Angus and Charolais bulls, 4 to 8 years old. 84 calves, Berry Ranches, Fort Stockton, Texas. X-quality black Brangus cross calves, cattle weighing 30 plus days, Virus Shield 6, Covexin 8, Ivamec, medium condition, 350, 575 pounds. 63 calves, Snow Landing Cattle Company, Dale City, Texas. Good quality black and red 1/8 ear crossbred calves, wean, thin, long age, 300, 500 pounds. 63 calves, Hendricks Ranch, Flying H, New Mexico. X-quality black Angus and Brangus crosses, thin condition, 400, 600 pounds. 30 calves, Mr. James Ellett, Hope, New Mexico. X-quality black white face Brangus crosses, shots at Brandon, 300, 450 pounds. 20 calves, Sawyer Ranch, Iran, Texas. Good quality 90% black crossbred calves, medium condition, 250, 350 pounds. Excuse me. And 33 steer calves, McCrae Ranch here west of Roswell. Excellent quality black Brangus cross calves, Bovishield Gold, 7 way at Brandon, 500, 600 pounds. Sale time this morning 9 o'clock. Sale pairs bred cows 9:30 to 9:45. Be selling calves and yearlings about 10:15. Next week's Labor Day sale will be held on Tuesday, September the 7th, and we expect to sell 800 head here today. This is Smiley Wooten, Roswell Livestock Auction.
We serve all New Mexico. If you think it's hard to take out a home loan, those rumors are wrong. It's not true. Contact Loan Officer Elliot Rodriguez, MLS number 41002 at CMG Financial, phone number 719-237-4680. At CMG Financial, we can help. Experience extraordinary with CMG Financial. Every customer, every time, no exceptions, no excuses. CMG Financial is a registered trade name of CMG Mortgage Incorporated, MLS 1820. CMG Mortgage Incorporated is equal opportunity lender. To verify complete list of states licensed, visit www.mlsconsumersaccess.org.
Equal fair housing is the right for everyone to have access to all housing opportunities without discrimination based on race, religion, national origin, sex, color, familial status, or disability.
College football is back on the High Plains, and 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM is your Southeast New Mexico home for ENMU Greyhound football. Your ENMU Greyhounds welcome in Central Washington September 2nd, 6 p.m. Sponsored by J.P. Stone Community Bank and Rooney Moon Broadcasting to kick off the 2021 football season. Tickets are only $10 for adults. Kids 8 and under get in free. Call 575-562-2153 or visit goeasternathletics.com for more information. Eastern New Mexico football, all in.
Talk about about local color. Your trees are supposed to be green, not yellow. Hello, this is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company. While we've been talking about our colorful geraniums, I've been noticing a lot of yellow trees around town, particularly those globe willows. It may come as a shock to you, but those trees are supposed to be green. If you have yellow trees, come see us at Roswell Seed Company. We have a fix that's fast and easy and doesn't cost very much. Remember, it's okay to have yellow flowers, but not yellow trees.
My part-time service in the Army National Guard makes it possible for me to be more for the community I call home. I'm a better neighbor because my service has taught me how important it is to be a team player. My training helps me in my classes when I give attention to detail to the task at hand. My service also allows me to be there for my community in ways others can't. I help my hometown recover after nature strikes. My service in the Army National Guard allows me to keep my country and those I care about safe from threats. I also work with a network of professionals that help me succeed. Also, the Army National Guard's education benefits make getting a higher education a reality. Being an Army National Guard soldier makes living and serving in my community more rewarding every day. Learn more about how you too can live and serve part-time close to home by visiting NationalGuard.com.
Sponsored by the New Mexico Army National Guard. Aired by the New Mexico Broadcasters Association and this station.
Wreck 'em.
He's got the catch as he dives into the end zone. Touchdown, Red Raiders!
It's time to pave the way for the LBK.
Show the world what it means to come from Lubbock, Texas.
Tech has won this game.
Join us Saturday, September 4th, as the Red Raiders kick off the season against Houston on your home for Red Raider football. The Texas Tech Sports Network from Learfield.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. The Procrastinators Club of America newsletter is called Last Month's Newsletter. Their first newsletter should be released any day now. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 27 minutes after 7 o'clock. And yes, I am back in studio today. So thank you to everyone for all the well wishes and everything over the last couple weeks. Yeah, I just... as I've been saying while I was doing the show from home there, just I got lucky in terms of symptoms from it and all that. I didn't get the bad stuff. Like, of course, I've been vaccinated, which I'm sure played a role in the reason why I just had, a cold, basically. So,
yeah, I have a couple friends who, they're married, and one is vaccinated, one is not.
Mm-hmm.
They both got it. And I saw it hit the one who was not vaccinated real bad.
Yeah.
Like respiratory issues. I mean, still, like even after the COVID's gone, she still has breathing issues.
Yeah. And you know what? People do what's best for you and your family. I'll never tell, that's on you.
Sure.
I'm a big proponent of don't worry about me, worry about your own self. Kind of, that's my lifestyle.
Right.
You do what's best for you, but I'm glad I got it, and I'm glad, that I didn't have to deal with it severely because of I chose to get the vaccination.
Mm-hmm.
So, and
even so, I mean, it's still it took you down.
Oh yeah, I'm still tired.
Right.
Like it's weird. Like usually after the show, any day, a normal, I'm a little mentally drained and talking things, but. Like last week, and I think even today, I'm tired right now. I just feel like just not motivate or energy, anything. You're just like,
no, I totally understand.
It's like, hey, can you do that today? Yeah, give me a minute. Let me work my brain up to it. Hold on.
I watched just kind of as a side story. Last night I went over to my lady friend's house, and we had. Dinner together. My lady friend. Yeah. I'm technically not single anymore, by the way, fellas. Fellas. But it was funny because it was such a carb-heavy dinner that afterwards I watched the entire house just go down. We were all just so low-key. None of us could move. My daughter was just like running around the house because she didn't eat. She chose to not eat dinner last night. So she had all kinds of energy. She was running all over the house. We were just like, give us 5 minutes.
Have some pasta.
Have some bread. Carbs on carbs. Oh, it was just so heavy. We were low-key.
Yeah.
So I think now that you're sort of like you said, your taste buds are sort of there.
Mm-hmm.
I think that we need to do the Lizzo challenge next.
What's that one? I forget.
Watermelon with mustard. Okay. I think I'm going to bring that in tomorrow, and we'll have some breakfast.
Okay.
From what I've heard people say, it's one of those things that like reawakens your taste buds post-COVID. It like shocks the system.
Oh yeah?
Well,
do I want that?
I mean,
I don't feel like I need a good shocking.
Who doesn't?
I do have one request.
Okay.
The watermelon's cold.
Sure.
I don't mess with warm watermelon. I like it cold.
I've never really thought of that being like an issue. But then again, every time I've ever had watermelon, it's not cold. It's lukewarm because I've had it like, at a picnic.
No, I like it in the fridge, cold.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. It's just, but watermelon by its nature is cold.
Not cold enough until you put it in the fridge.
If you put it in the oven, you cut a hole in the Oh Lord!
Well, it's fruit. You know how me and fruit are. Mm-hmm. I have weird proclivities when it comes to fruit.
So. Makes sense.
I haven't complained once about the mustard side. I'm just like, no, make sure the fruit is cold.
I'm fine with the mustard. Yeah, just chill my melon.
Yeah. So okay, we'll do that, and we'll get that done sometime here.
Well, because the roulette thing didn't work out. Like I said, I downed half a bag of chips and was very disappointed. Unless the spicy half settled to the bottom, and I've got just a rude awakening waiting for me at home.
Could be. Could be. Maybe those chips are heavier.
Yeah.
They fill the bag with air.
Well, I gave it a good shake.
Yeah. But then does that taint the other chips?
Possibly
desensitize, and spicy up some of the less spicy ones.
I didn't think about that.
To make basically even out the bag to one even keel of.
You'd almost have to wrap the spicy chips to keep their spicy integrity.
Yeah,
their spice integrity, I guess.
And to be honest, with the Packy, the one chip challenge, the biggest problem with that chip, it was hot and all of that. It's stale and dry. If it was like a fresh Dorito chip that was hot, it would be a lot easier to eat. The fact that you're eating literally like a chip that you put under a couch cushion, forgot about it for 2 years, and picked it up and said, "Hey, here's a chip.
Yeah, here's
yummy." That's the part that was nasty. It wasn't even the heat for me. It was the fact this chip tastes like it lived in someone's foot for 2 years.
So your problem more is you're just a critic of the Pocky chip style.
Well,
so Doritos, if you really want to step to the table, do your own one chip challenge.
I feel like Columbus's crew packed that chip and put it on the boat with them on the way here.
We're gonna need 13 pounds of salt pork, and take this one chip. I feel like it could be used someday.
This chip was on the Pinta. Yeah, that was my problem with these
that makes
things.
sense.
So, they were hot, but I'm like, oh my goodness, could you make a more dry, stale, just...
Always a critic. Always a flavor critic.
It made the wafers at church like succulent.
What's funny is I've gone to church at a lot of different places, and I've experienced communion in so many different forms.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I went to a place where they had a big loaf of bread at the front, and you would tear a piece of bread off and you would dip it in the cup, and that's how you did communion.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the best because the bread was so good.
Actual bread.
Whoever baked it was really, really good. It was really good bread. But then there was like other ones like the simple wafers. Or have you ever gotten the kit?
Mm-hmm.
That's fun. Where it's just like the shot glass, but it's covered with the plastic, and then the wafer on top, and another little thing of plastic.
I see a lot of those in the COVID world.
It's like a handy snacks COVID thing.
It's a communable, like a Lunchable, but communion's like commutables.
Commutables. Yeah, and then you take your little crouton, oh Christ, you G's it.
That's kind of what they're like. Yeah, exactly.
And the only time I've ever had actual wine with communion was at the Episcopal Church.
I will say when I grew up in the Episcopal Church, yes.
And that was weird.
I had wine.
The only time I went, it was like a lock-in or something. I had gone with like a girl that I was seeing at the time in high school, and so it was a lock-in. So we stayed overnight and then went to mass the next morning. And they had us all come up to the front, and get on our knees in the front, and then they poured it into our mouths. And that's
exactly
weird,
how we did it,
man. That's freaking weird.
When in Episcopal church, because
I'm not here to judge, but that just feels odd.
Just to pull back the curtain, my mother and that side of the family,
right,
Catholic. So my father, my person I call my father, adopted me when I was 4.
Right.
I do not know my natural biological father. So that being said, my mother being Catholic and everything, well, when they met, got 4. My father's Episcopalian. Neither were very devout churchgoers or anything like that. So we would go on occasion. But so I went to Catholic school up and through 2nd grade. So I got baptized, everything as a Catholic. And then in my later younger days, I started going to Episcopal church. So, but everything you're saying there with the Episcopal church, that's how we did it.
That's just
they bring they basically the churches, the one up in New York were my grandparents, and then the one down by us both had the same setup where you had basically at the altar, the front there, you got everything, but then there was a bar, like a pew, and then they slide the bar across the basically the main entryway to the altar area there, and then people would come up, they kneel in front of the bar there, and then they just lined up, and then the preacher would come by and then give you the bread, and then you drink from the chalice. They would put the chalice up to you, and you drink from the chalice.
What they should do,
and they wipe the chalice and pass it on, and then they would handle it the whole time.
Oh, they wiped yours. See, they didn't do that with us.
No, see, they had a gold chalice, and then we'd drink, and then he had a little cloth. He wipe it, and then he offered to the next person, and then
like to this day, I've thought about that. It's like he never wiped that down. I would think the cool priest would like turn the cup ever so slightly between every person, so that you're getting the side of the cup.
Maybe that, I don't know, but that was how they were doing it when I was there. So.
I'm just picturing in the COVID time they still do it. It's just like a antiseptic wipe.
Yeah. And then I always used to wonder because, when the communion's done, the pastor, the preacher's up there, finishing up the ceremonial part. And of course he's putting away the communion kit and everything. And every time they're like, oh, there's wine left. And they polish off the wine.
Really?
Every time the pastor would polish off the wine. Yeah. And I'm like, I wonder if they extra fill that bad boy,
you got to imagine.
Because, every time he'd be, and the Catholic priest did the same thing. It was just always that way. After they're done, man.
Big old bite out of the bread.
I just remember as a kid sitting there, I was like, I wonder if they really deliberately fill that bowl to get more wine.
You rimmed it this week, Father O'Flanagan.
Yeah. See, Sam saying, Catholics always do real wine too. Yeah, so I've always been in that world with the Catholics, Episcopalians, and that's now Catholics. When I was in that, you get in line, like the pastor and the preacher, the father, and if there was a assistant fathers there, to basically because like when I was in school, like in young school Catholic there, it was Mount Calvary Church, and the church, of course, Catholic churches are very ornate churches compared to
absolutely,
they just that's how they do it, and so very more cathedral looking. They're very a lot of higher ceilings, very
huge, cathedral ceilings, literally like stained glass.
It was actually quite a culture shock for me when I went to a church that wasn't a Catholic church. Like Dad took me to Episcopalian church the first time. I'm kind of like, that's low rent, dude. I mean, joke out this is nice and all, but I'm like, the Catholic church got like this 2-story cross with Jesus up top there. Y'all got like a little one in the corner. This is kind of low rent compared to the Catholic church.
It is a huge change of pace when you go from Southern Baptist to non-denominational.
I just came from a church that's got a 2-story Jesus on a cross here behind me. I was like, this is kind of small compared to
Yeah, and then you go to any other church, like, oh, y'all's Jesus fell off. Huh?
Where's your giant Jesus?
Where's your Christ? You just keep him in the back in storage? Or?
Yeah. And so that was kind of a culture shock for me. I was like, oh, a lot of churches aren't always ornate and stuff like that. But yeah, when they did communion and things, because there's a lot more people, there was in that, usually bigger church means more people in there. So they would just, the Catholic church had a couple hundred. So they'd be rolling through and they had like a system where you get in line and then you you walked up through and then you get in line and then you get communion and generally, they would put the wafer in your mouth, although you could hold your hand depending. But if you didn't, they would just and they drop
Matter
it
of
on your
fact,
tongue.
now that I think about it, I think that's how I can't remember if that's how they did it in the Episcopal too, that they put it on your tongue.
Generally, people, they left it to the choice of the person. It was about 50-50. Some would hold their hands out, others just kind of drop them in, Father, and they take care of business there. But the wine part was always...
It was oddly submissive to be on your knees, looking up, tongue out. It just feels oddly...
Well, it's communion. You're giving yourself to God.
Sure.
Yes, you're submissive.
Sure.
That's the idea. But I do remember the kits too, like later and stuff, and like you said, the God Lunchables.
I just always think about like there's a factory somewhere like probably Roanoke, Utah,
that
like
makes those.
that makes the communables.
Well,
And,
I'm sure. Well, and even just the wafers, like is there a? Because I know it's technically food, even though it does not look, smell, sound.
So here's what happens.
It's like food.
Every day at the end of the day at the Necco Wafer Company, after they're done making their inedible, chalky candies, they have a run of just communion wafers. Because they're the same thickness, they're the same size.
Round.
They just run off a quick round of communion wafers.
Think it's the same material?
And like styrofoam too. The ones like especially in the kits. Like, I mean, once you put some moisture to it, they're edible. But if you do communion, you always, do the wafer first, and then there's a whole spiel before you actually get to drink. So it's like, I have to wet this down with mouth moisture.
Well, there was even a point, and I think in the Episcopal Church, where people were holding on to their bread, and then instead of drinking out of it, dipping into the chalice, and then.
Which that makes sense, and that's a good way to do it.
Yeah. I
Except
remember trying it all because I just did as a kid. I was doing what I wanted to be like everybody else. So most people were dipping, and I'm dipping. If most people were drinking straight from the cup,
It made me think about it. Literally, that was such a good combination. I honestly kind of want to go to the store and get a loaf of just like the fresh bread,
make your own,
and some Welch's juice, and just sit there at home and just dip my bread.
People got chips and salsa.
It's my at-home communion.
I call it my communion appetizer.
That's right. This is how I keep myself in piety.
Or struck down and going to hell with the other.
Well, no, as long as you just say it before you do it, every time, just say, in remembrance of him. In remembrance of me. Every time.
That'd be a lot of work.
It is.
Well, and then you should pray each chip or whatever they bread.
You live your life in that pious state, so you should be good.
I guess.
Yeah.
It's a lot of carbs.
A weird segment we just had.
It's a lot of carbs.
We just spend 10 minutes on communion.
Well,
I love morning radio. I really do. That's my favorite thing is we could just randomly go off on any tangent ever.
Welcome to my head.
God bless America.
Well, it's just I get, for mass quantities and storage and, all that stuff. But it's like, you think we could, I don't know. I know it's not supposed to be meant for nourishment either. So I just, in all these years,
it's one of those things. It's like the flush toilet. You haven't really looked at, it technologically in 100 years. It's always been made the same way. I think somebody should look at how the communion wafer is manufactured.
I'm just saying we live in a world where we're just a gluttonous, gelatinous society where we're like, hey, what else can we stuff in the crust of a pizza? And I'm thinking of all these things. We haven't had someone to work on the wafer.
Now that I think about it, the best of those, of the actual wafers that we had is when I went to, it was a non-denominational church. What they did was they just took matzah and they broke it up, and you just have a little piece of matzah.
Okay.
Matzah's really good.
Yeah.
Like I've seriously just as a snack.
I've had matzo ball soup.
Yeah, as a
once,
snack.
many moons ago.
I bought matzo crackers and would just snap them off and just eat those as like a snack because they're really good. They're perfectly seasoned. I might be slightly Jewish, but yeah, know. I enjoy a matzo cracker. So that was a great way to do the communion. I think the mindset is you don't want to have any flavor because you're supposed to it's supposed to be like.
I imagine, but I'm just surprised.
I know.
In the world we live in, people like 8 patties. We brought every animal on earth and put it on this burger.
The communionator.
There's even some yak on there.
Right.
Just like what?
This summer at Carl's Jr., the most pious burger ever. The communion burger. Just topped with 17 layers of wafers. Doused in wine.
And barbecue sauce.
Basted in red wine.
And 1 onion ring.
Do you remember and this is completely off topic, sort of, do you remember the All-America burger that they put out a few years ago?
Carl's Jr. did?
Yes. It was an abomination.
I don't know if I remember. See, I get Carl's Jr. burgers mixed up.
This thing had onion rings, potato chips, and a hot dog on top of it.
You know what? I remember that now.
And the commercial?
I remember that.
The commercial was 2 chicks in bikinis playing beach volleyball while jets flew over.
I kind of remember that now.
I would love to know what the advertising budget is for Carl's Jr. because they chartered a flyover.
Was that back in the day when they were using the bikini women and all before they got called out on that?
Yeah, back when it was sort of okay.
Then they had to go to McConaughey after that. I do remember that now that you say that. The hot dog sealed it. I was like, oh, yeah.
I think the commercial was even like, how much is too much to put on a burger? This much. We know what we're doing is wrong, but we're going to do it anyways.
We don't care.
We don't care.
It is 7:46. Probably should do some news.
Yeah, maybe.
Let's pause for news. Your Kim Commando update. Town Hall business update. Quick break as well. Don't go away. Unless you really, really are just tired of this. We'll be back. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Now for a Pecos Valley news update, I'm Jared Cirillo. RMAC second Saturdays include hands-on activities and free admission for members and Roswell residents. Hands-on activities are offered from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., and a planetarium show is at 11. Second Saturdays are generously supported by the RMAC Foundation. Education leaders in Carlsbad have approved an application for more than $8 million to come from the federal pandemic relief money to address immediate needs of schools affected by the pandemic. The funding designed to help maximize in-person learning, sustain the safe operation of schools, and address the academic, social, emotional, and mental health needs of students. And the Carlsbad City Council approves its own spending of $164 million for future public works projects. The Infrastructure Capital Improvement Plan, or ICIP, is a working list of projects in Carlsbad. You're up to date. That's a look at local news headlines. I'm Jared Cirillo reporting.
This year, Americans have already received 16 to 20 robocalls about their car's warranty. That's about 3 calls a month. The scam isn't new, but it's reached new heights. I'm Kim Commando with How to Complain, brought to you by Superbeats. Support your heart health with Superbeats Chews. Buy 2 bags, get a 3rd free at kimsbeats.com. They're scam calls. They ignore the National Do Not Call Registry. The opening line is a lie leading you to believe that the call is coming from your car's dealership. It isn't. They say that your car's warranty is about to expire. Another lie. They don't know. They say that they're trying to extend your current warranty, but they're not. They're trying to sell you a completely new warranty at exorbitant prices. Along the way, they're going to extract a lot of personal data about you, which will then be sold on the dark web. The FCC says not only should you hang up, but also report the call at consumercomplaints.fcc.gov. Get breaking tech news that happens at commando.com. Whether you need it for work, school, or a special project, it's very important to have the right printer. The Epson EcoTank is a new type of printer that doesn't use cartridges. Stop buying expensive ink cartridges and save yourself the frustration of replacing ink cartridges ever again. The Epson EcoTank printers have supersized, easy-to-fill ink tanks, and they come with just a ridiculous amount of ink. If you're like me, you've tried rationing your printing to save yourself from replacing those expensive ink cartridges. With the Epson EcoTank, you don't have to worry about running out of ink. So start printing in color all you want. You can kiss expensive cartridges goodbye already. But hurry, because the Epson EcoTank is changing the way people print. It's flying off the shelves. I just love mine. The Epson EcoTank makes it easy. Make the switch today. Add the Epson EcoTank to your online shopping list so you can just fill and chill. Epson EcoTank printers, available at Best Buy, Office Depot, Staples, and at Epson.com/EcoTankChem.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Things look sunny and dry today with our afternoon high hitting about 90. Overnight looks clear with our low in the upper 60s, and then high pressure will stay in place over eastern New Mexico tomorrow. Sunshine and a little bit warmer with afternoon highs in the mid-90s. Clear Tuesday night and then sunny and hot again on Wednesday, about 95. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
With the SRN News Business Brief, I'm Bill Alexander. The House panel investigating the January 6th riot at the U.S. Capitol issued sweeping document requests on Friday to social media companies, expanding the scope of the investigation. The requests were issued to technology giants including Google, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. A robotics company that produces driverless vehicles for grocery, pizza, and prescription deliveries said Thursday it intends to spend $40 million to put a manufacturing facility and a test track in the Las Vegas area. The firm, Neuro, is based in Mountain View, California. On Wall Street, the Dow up 242 points to 35,455. The Nasdaq gained 183 to 15,129. And the S&P 500 ahead 39 points to 4,509. With the SRN News Business Brief, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
We serve all New Mexico. If you think it's hard to take out a home loan, those rumors are wrong. It's not true. Contact Loan Officer Elliot Rodriguez, MLS number 41002 at CMG Financial, phone number 719-237-4680. At CMG Financial, we can help. Experience extraordinary with CMG Financial, every customer, every time, no exceptions, no excuses. CMG Financial is a registered trade name of CMG Mortgage Incorporated, MLS 1820. CMG Mortgage Incorporated is equal opportunity lender. To verify complete list of states licensed, visit www.mlsconsumersaccess.org.
Equal fair housing is the right for everyone to have access to all housing opportunities without discrimination based on race, religion, national origin, sex, color, familial status, or disability.
Innovation, service, integrity, and knowledge. J.S. Ward and Son Insurance Agency. Auto and home, life and health, personal and commercial. Bonds too, since 1925, we have the coverage for you. Innovation, service, integrity, and knowledge. J.S. Ward and Son Insurance Agency.
Sometimes we put off important health needs like surgeries because, well, we worry about the pain and time needed for recovery. Dr. Paul Torres, a board-certified general surgeon, has joined Loveless Specialty Healthcare and is helping patients in the Roswell area get back to the lives they love with less pain and a faster recovery through advances in minimally invasive surgery. To find out if laparoscopic surgery is the best solution for you, call Loveless and make an appointment today at 575-625-3222.
Gosh, can anyone remember a summer as nice as this? And Roswell families are certainly making the most of it, starting with a visit to the Tailgate Nation at Roswell Ford. From pickups and SUVs to family sedans and sports cars, Roswell Ford has the area's biggest selection of pre-owned vehicles starting at just $5,000. Dozens of premium late-model vehicles ready to serve your family for many years and many miles to come. Each one has passed a thorough 139-point inspection, and Roswell Ford gives you a 3-day money-back guarantee so you can buy with confidence. Of course, Roswell Ford is always looking for gently used cars and trucks. So if you have one you'd like to sell, bring it by and let us make you an offer. You'll probably be surprised at how much it's worth. It's tailgate season, and a fresh new vehicle from Roswell Ford will help your family enjoy it like never before. So grab the cooler and the barbecue and come see us at Roswell Ford, the Tailgate Nation at the corner of 9th and Main.
College football is back on the High Plains, and 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM is your Southeast New Mexico home for ENMU Greyhound football. Your ENMU Greyhounds welcome in Central Washington September 2nd, 6 p.m. Sponsored by J.P. Stone Community Bank and Rooney Moon Broadcasting to kick off the 2021 football season. Tickets are only $10 for adults. Kids 8 and under get in free. Call 575-562-2153 or visit goeasternathletics.com for more information. Eastern New Mexico football, all in.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Movie trailers were originally shown after the movie, which is why they're called trailers. Mike thought they named them after the mobile home. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning, 7:54. Happy Monday, everybody. Hey, over the weekend, this is pretty cool. I don't know, we've talked with them. We'll actually talk with them, I guess, next week, because that'll be the first Tuesday in September. But from time to time, the folks from the Walker Aviation Museum and also the ENMUR Aviation program, they get to interact with some of our military from time to time when they do some of their training and some of that stuff when they come through our area. A lot of times they do a lot of work with the Walker Aviation Museum and ENMUR and give opportunities for students and kids to come check out their equipment and their mission and all that cool stuff. Well, they had one of those over the weekend. The 509th Weapons Squadron, they were in town over the weekend. I'm guessing yesterday. The photos were put up yesterday, so I'm guessing maybe yesterday or maybe Saturday. But the 509th was here in town, and they brought one of their KC-135 aircraft here, and a bunch of families and kids and things got to go out and learn about the mission of the 509th and what they're training for, and then got to see the plane and all that cool stuff. If you want, check out Walker Aviation Museum on Facebook. They got a bunch of pictures of the KC-135 and a bunch of they were really cool. It looks like the crew let them go up all through the plane, and there's a bunch of pictures of folks in the cockpit, and then looked like some hanging out on the boom side of the KC-135 is an air refueler. That's its mission is to refuel aircraft. And I've never been in a 135. I've been in a KC-10. It's pretty cool. It's a cool experience. And so I was, when I was in the military, I got to ride in a KC-10. We were doing, I was with the Holloman Air Force Base with the 8th Fighter Squadron. I was a weapons troop on the stealth fighters there. And they were having what's called a red flag. And for those in the military, you're probably familiar, but for those who don't know, it's a big training exercise. It's basically the U.S. Air Force plays war. Usually it's Air Force. Not always, but sometimes I think they mix other branches and things. But the ones I was involved with was always just Air Force, and it was multi-aircraft. So we had to go to Boise, Idaho, Mountain Home Air Force Base, which is actually a pretty important base in the scheme of things as far as our military goes. But anyway, we were there for 2 weeks, and what happens is, of course, our planes come. They have F-15s, 16s, B-1s, basically a good hunk of your type of aircraft that fight wars for us. And they play war, and the AWACS will guide them around out there, and the KC-135s and 10s hit the refuels, and they fly missions and do all their training and stuff. So for 2 weeks, we go and do this, and I go and I do what I do, make sure the jets are loaded, da-da-da-da-da. But anyway, to get to Mountain Home as a squadron, what they did was they took 6 stealths with us. And then they took all the crew that were going on TDY, the weapons troops, crew chiefs, everybody, avionics guys, everything. And they basically loaded us up in a KC-10 because it had enough passenger space to do that. So we got to ride in a KC-10 from Holloman to Boise, Idaho. And so that whole time, the stealth drivers are doing training on refueling and stuff like that. And so now the KC-135 looks like their boom way they got like a little looks like these little beds that you lay flat on, and you look out and there's the boom, and then the boom comes down, and this is at the back of the plane, so you can see where they're refueling. On the KC-10, it's a little different. They have this big giant window, and they have this like flat spot you just lay on. So in actuality, you can have like 4 people up there at one time laying flat on their bellies looking at the refuel process. And so they would let us come up at 3, 4 at a time and lay flat there and watch out the back window. And it's just the bird's eye view like you see on videos and stuff of a aircraft. Basically, they were riding on the wingtips of the KC. Mine was a KC-10. And then as it was their turn, they'd come off the wingtip. They'd go up to the boom. Now, the Navy and the Air Force refuel aircraft different. The Navy, they have a big hose with a basket on the end that floats in the air, and that's how they hook up. The Air Force has a big boom. It's a big, just big boom stick. And then it's got the nozzle at the end. And so basically that boom comes down. The plane has a hard docking point where they line it up and bloom, caption, and they refuel. It's like I said, it's a little different between Navy and Air Force. I watched the Air Force version, but to watch them get up and hit on is pretty cool. So, all right, it's 8 o'clock time for Town Hall News. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico. We'll be back on the other side. Don't go away.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. The clock is ticking on Afghanistan. That story coming up, but first, tracking the progress of Tropical Storm Ida. The storm dumping massive amounts of rain as it slowly exits Louisiana, moving into Mississippi and Alabama. Electricity is out for more than 1 million utility customers, including the entire city of New Orleans. There are people pleading for rescue from flooded homes, FEMA describing damage across the region as widespread. Louisiana Governor John Bel Edwards says the storm roared ashore as a powerful Category 4 hurricane, maximum sustained winds 150 miles per hour.
Ida rapidly intensified at an unprecedented rate right up until landfall.
One storm-related death, that in the Baton Rouge area where a man was killed by a falling tree. Forecasters warn that Ida remains a dangerous storm, dumping flooding rains, possibly spinning off tornadoes as it continues to march inland. The United Nations is warning of a far greater humanitarian crisis as international airlifts out of Kabul come to an end.
The West's withdrawal from Afghanistan has thrown the geopolitical cards up in the air, and it's still a little early to know just how they're going to fall. Much depends on what the Taliban actually want and how they behave. For the West, the immediate priorities are trying to secure safe passage for those Afghans who still want to leave, and making sure the country doesn't once again become a haven for terrorists. And the West will also have to decide how best to continue helping the people of Afghanistan. After all, it's still massively dependent on foreign aid.
That's BBC's Paul Adams. Earlier today, 5 rockets fired at the Kabul airport. Those rockets brought down by a missile defense system. Wall Street, the Dow down 46 points, NASDAQ 75 points higher. More on these stories, townhall.com.
Listener that stands out that I worked with was this older couple that was interested in refinancing. They reached out to a few different lenders. Their credit wasn't the best. I know some of these other bigger banks, you just won't hear back from them, which I cannot stand. Not everybody has the 780 credit scores, and just because you don't qualify at one time doesn't mean that you'll never qualify. I'll walk you through what you have to do, whether it's 2, 3, 6 months from now. Back to that older couple, we worked with them for months and months to improve their credit, and we were able to get the loan done. We were saving them hundreds each month, thousands of dollars a year, finally got themselves into a situation financially that they can handle, and they could start saving money each month for retirement. End of the day, they just could not be happier, which just put a huge smile on my face.
We are United Faith Mortgage.
United Faith Mortgage is a DBA of United Mortgage Corp. 25 Melville Park Road, Melville, New York. Licensed mortgage banker. For all licensing information, go to nmlsconsumeraccess.org. Corporate NMLS number 1330. Equal housing lender. Licensed in Alaska, Hawaii, Georgia, Massachusetts, North Dakota, South Dakota, or Utah.
Israeli and Palestinian officials sit down for talks in attempts to calm tensions. The latest from the media lines, Felice Friedson.
A rare meeting between Israeli Defense Minister Benny Gantz and Palestinian Authority President Mahmoud Abbas took place in Ramallah on Sunday. It was the highest level of interaction between leaders since 2010. The two men spent almost 3 hours discussing issues with the economy and security topping the agenda. Prime Minister Naftali Bennett, who was in Washington meeting with President Joe Biden, approved the meeting, although he opposes creation of a Palestinian state, while Gantz is a proponent of the so-called two-state solution. Following the meeting, a source close to Bennett admonished that there is no diplomatic process with the Palestinians, nor will there be one, according to media reports. I'm Felice Friedson, Town Hall News, Jerusalem.
Breaking news and analysis at themedialine.org and townhall.com. China's video game regulator says online gamers under 18 will only be allowed to play for an hour on Fridays, weekends, and holidays.
Only children and teenagers here to be limited to only 3 hours of online gaming per week. They've been told which specific 3 hours they can play. According to rules announced today, 8 p.m. till 9 p.m. on Friday, Saturday and Sunday nights are the only times gamers under 18 years of age can have access to gaming services. Companies must use real name verification with official ID documents to ensure that minors do not play games outside these times. It's unclear how foreign gaming companies might be regulated to make them also follow these rules.
That is BBC correspondent Stephen McDonnell reporting from Beijing. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The devil listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2.
The Deuce.
Ah.
That was totally visual.
Right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Monday, everybody.
Yeah, welcome back.
I went to the dentist. It was before COVID.
Mm-hmm.
So about 3 weeks ago.
Sure.
Yeah.
Probably about that, yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, they were out of Sunnies.
Aw.
Yeah, my goodie bag. Because I asked, I was like, hey, is there any more Sunnies? Oh, it goes, we're out of Sunnies. I'm trying to make the band here, man. So you're going to work on getting me more Sunnies.
His Sunny distributor is it's running short right now.
I got to start jacking up my teeth just to get more Sunnies.
Have we ever actually used this as a pen?
Never.
I don't think we ever have.
I've never wrote one thing with those.
This is a brand new pen.
Well, and in all fairness, because and I know Keon and his staff aren't making little Sunnies in their thing. They order them like everybody else. But
yeah,
generally speaking, pens that its first purpose aren't to write never work right.
They suck. They almost always suck real bad.
Like if they want to look like a flower or a sunny guy or a frog or a naked lady, whatever it is, they never write correctly.
I had one of those. It was the giant. You remember the big ones that came out like a long time ago?
Oh yeah,
they were like huge. I took one of those. It was like I think it was like in high school. I took it to school just as like a joke. That pen sucked. It wrote for like half a page and then was just done.
There was a lady who's passed on, no longer with us, but this was a tradition for many years for us, Thomas as well. We would on Tuesdays we have our lunches and our meeting. Tuesday we have a big staff meeting every Tuesday with our. Basically we're spread out, and so Tuesdays we all come together and meet. And generally we'll go to lunch or something, but we'll go to the Pecos Diamond Steakhouse every once in a while. In Artesia there, because that's where the office is. Right. And there was a lady that she was the cashier for many years. She passed away last year or two here, unfortunately. But she loved her pens. Yeah. And she had, like, because, many people that she spends her day, people signing their tickets and, how people steal pens and everything else. So she would make them so her pens were unstealable. And she literally, she had giant pens. You know the 4-color pen? She had one of those, but it was literally a foot tall and like a 2 inches thick. And
you're signing with a baseball bat.
You gotta hold it like you're holding a hot dog to sign this thing.
It would be pretty hard to pocket that thing. Oh, was this my pen or your pen? I can't remember. Did I come in with this?
Yeah.
In its own special carrying case?
Yeah. So, yeah. big cartoonishly giant pens and everything else too. But yeah, so when I think of those, I think of her.
I used to have a friend who they had like the colorful duct tape or whatever, and they would do like the fancy pen designs or whatever. Yeah, so I have like one that with like a bunch of feathers on them, or just randomly like leopard print, whatever. I just have way too much free time.
I like my pen with lace.
Just like something a little pretty.
Something dainty. But, by the way, the only novelty pen that's worth its salt is the 4-color.
Oh, I 100% agree.
Yeah. I remember back in the day, because they would generally be blue and white, the pen. Like the actual, because they had the 4 colors. But the actual outer casing was the top was white and the bottom would be blue.
Mm-hmm.
I had an orange and white one.
Really?
When I was a wee lad in
a weird flex.
5th grade.
Special edition.
Well, the only reason I remember this is because everyone looked at me weird. Like, why do you have an orange one?
Mm-hmm.
And at first, it's like, are your parents poor? But then it was like, wait a minute, the orange one's cooler than the blue one. And,
special edition. Yeah. You're riding high. What I was going to just mention, too, is what's funny is you go to the store today, you're going to find that pin sitting in the the stationary aisle. That pin hasn't changed in 40 years. It looks exact. I would reckon that they're probably using the same pins with new ink.
Yeah.
Like same pin case, because it's the same exact pin.
About a month ago, I saw a grown adult use one in a meeting. I felt so happy. I was like, that guy's using a 4-color pen. Good for you, sir.
Good for you. You do that thing where you try to force them all out at one time.
It never works.
Never, ever. No.
Well, and here's why, kids. You have one hole in 4 ink things trying to go through it at one time. It just doesn't work.
Yeah. It's basically the vaudeville joke of 2 people getting stuck in the door at the same time.
Because, when you open a regular ballpoint pen, you just got the one. But not the 4-jobber.
Oh, no.
There's 4 in there.
That's right.
Yeah. Then
it's like shampoo, conditioner, and then 2 other things.
Then you cry hard when you accidentally take it apart and can't put it back together again.
Or you crack the bottom to where it won't stay.
Yeah, every time you write on it, pops back in. Sad days.
These are the real problems, kids. The ones we dealt with.
That was my D-Day.
That's right. Our styluses, they had lifespans. Could take them out.
Yeah. But I remember those pens well. Let me give you the rundown for this hour. We're going to get you up to date with the weather here in just a few. Then in just a little bit, we're going to play our interview we had with Leah Boone from Central Valley Electric Cooperative. Oh, I'm sorry. No, that's right. We're going to do that this hour. I got my head mixed up. Never mind. Sorry. I still got a little COVID brain.
That makes sense.
And by the way, while we're talking about that, if y'all like green chili.
And I do.
Who doesn't? Why do you live here if you don't like it?
I'll say people from out of state usually.
Why don't you move to places that don't have it if you don't like it? Right. But anyway, Hotel Artesia presents the People's Choice Green Chili Cook-Off Round 2.
The Deuce.
That's going to be happening at 9/18, September 18th. It's going to be at Hotel Artesia from noon to 6. They're going to have hot prizes. Hotel bar opens at noon. Cool off your green chili samplings. Entertainment by... CD and the Badlands Band?
JD and the Badlands
Band.
JD.
Okay, I was trying to figure out the logo there. And happened in there. It's a free event.
Yep.
For more information and to register, I guess if you want to submit chili related things.
You do need to go ahead and get a local temporary business license.
Gotcha, because you're serving food and being judged. Therefore, you have to have the commercial grade.
Yep. But just the temporary one, and they're actually a lot easier to get right now.
Okay. So. If you have questions about that, don't hesitate to call Hotel Artesia at 575-746-2066 or go to the People's Choice Green Chili Cook-Off Facebook event page and learn more information there as well. But that's fair game. Anything green chili, right?
Yeah, from what I understand, the last, the first round, there was green chili lattes.
I saw some of the. If you go back if you go to ksvptv.com, click on our channels there. There's one for round 1 of the green chili, and they were trying, like you said, the lattes. There was a couple of interesting ones in there.
I think there's an ice cream or something.
Yeah, there was
frozen
a dessert
yogurt or something.
Something you would not normally try green chili in.
Yeah,
and things that are more green chili.
Oh, it was Kith and Ken, I think, was the one. They did a scone or something like that.
I think they had a coffee drink too.
Yeah, they had the coffee one, I remember. But yeah, so it's kind of interesting. You know, you put a little heat in your sweet. I kind of dig that.
I've done the chocolate and chili before. You know, you've had green chili chocolate, right?
Yeah,
I've
done that.
I think
before,
anyone that's lived in green chili's got to have had that at least once. And I don't mind that. That's a good little, and to be honest, like you've had chocolate covered bacon, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, see, that's great too.
I agree.
It's not a breakfast thing. It's a snack and it's dessert, but it's really good.
You know, my personal favorite of those combinations is the chocolate covered potato chip. Oh, those are so good. I can't remember who it was that did, like, I had a whole bag of those. It was like $5 for the bag, but dude, worth it.
I've had them and they're good. And just to pull back the curtain, everyone knows my love of pretzels. That's one I love. But chocolate covered pretzels, like you buy your zips or whatever, flips or whatever they're called, and or those, I love those. They're not my one snack. My
I used
number
to really
one,
like
but
white chocolate covered pretzels. Weirdly,
don't get me in started on white chocolate.
That's the only white chocolate I liked, really, because I've never been a huge white chocolate fan.
White chocolate is a sham and a travesty.
Just the way you said that's so strange. Sham and a travesty.
I will not give credence to white chocolate.
Come into my court, white chocolate nonsense.
That's like coming into me and trying to tell me pork is beef. It ain't happening. Don't come here blowing that kind of smoke.
Just a pig wearing horns.
Right? I know what fish tastes like, and that's clearly not fish. All right?
Now, I don't know, man. For a long time, there was a whole Subway thing with tuna, and they stood by the fact that our tuna's tuna, and all it took was a couple of random reports to be like, yeah, your tuna isn't tuna.
Yeah. White chocolate, these clown shoes invented this thing, and they were like, we're never going to be popular like real chocolate. We're going to glom onto the chocolate train and pretend we're chocolate, but we're white chocolate. Even though we don't taste like chocolate, we don't look like chocolate, we don't even smell like chocolate. we coat similarly.
Here's the thing, though. The basis of it makes sense because the basis of both is cocoa butter.
So is a lot of lotions out there. You don't see me calling it chocolate.
Chocolate lotion. What you doing? Oh, I'm just chocolating up.
Yeah. I've seen lots of lotions that have cocoa butter in it. I ain't calling it chocolate lotion.
Maybe you should. Maybe you should start that trend.
I will not. I will not.
Mike, you're just famous enough that you could start a trend of calling lotion chocolate.
I don't think I am.
Chocolate spread.
I don't think I am.
Mike, are you having a lotion sandwich?
I got a feeling I might get in trouble. Might be a faux pas.
Yeah, that's true.
Hey, I probably should do our interview so we have time to do that or get fired on my first day back. It is 8:17. Here is your weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Things look sunny and dry today with our afternoon high hitting about 90. Overnight looks clear with our low in the upper 60s, and then high pressure will stay in place over eastern New Mexico tomorrow. Sunshine and a little bit warmer with afternoon highs in the mid-90s. Clear Tuesday night and then sunny and hot again on Wednesday, about 95. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 71 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 79% with winds out of the north at 8 miles per hour. Sorry, I just kicked something while I was trying to slide my chair over. For today, they say we got a chance of rain this morning before 10. I don't know. There's a lot of blue out my window, but I know that's not all that's around. But they say we have a slight chance of rain before 10. And then we got rain chances this afternoon after 4. They do say some of those storms could produce some heavy rainfall. Sunny today with a high of 92 otherwise, with north winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. That rain chance is at 20% for this afternoon. Tonight, we're also looking at a 20% chance of rain before 10. So 4 to 10 is our sweet spot for rain. They do throw in the caveat that some of these storms could produce some heavy rainfall. Partly cloudy with an overnight low of 68. Winds out of the southeast 5 to 10. For you Tuesday, mostly sunny and a high of 95. South winds 5 to 10. Wednesday, sunny and 94. South winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. Thursday and through the weekend, we got rain chances once again. Looks like Thursday a good chance. 40% chance of rain on Thursday, mostly sunny, high of 93 otherwise. 40% chance of rain for Thursday night as well, mostly cloudy, overnight low of 70. Friday, we're looking at a 30% chance of rain, mostly sunny and 91, and 30% for Friday night as well. Saturday, 20% chance of showers, sunny, highs near 90, 20% chance of rain Sunday as well, sunny once again, highs near 90. All right, it is closing in on 20 minutes after 8 o'clock. Let's go ahead and take a quick commercial break, then our interview with Leah Boone from Central Valley Electric. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
College football is back on the High Plains, and 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM is your Southeast New Mexico home for ENMU Greyhound football. Your ENMU Greyhounds welcome in Central Washington September 2nd, 6 p.m. Sponsored by J.P. Stone Community Bank and Rooney Moon Broadcasting to kick off the 2021 football season. Tickets are only $10 for adults. Kids 8 and under get in free. Call 575-562-2153 or visit GoEasternAthletics.com for more information. Eastern New Mexico football, all in.
How many times do you think we could say lucky in 30 seconds? This is the lucky 13th year for the Artesia Chamber of Commerce's Clays Crusher Fun Shoot. If you're feeling lucky, please join us on Saturday, September 18th for a fun day of shooting clays. Luckily, we scored a spot at the Eddy County Shooting Range and we'll have 2 rotations at 9 a.m. and 1 p.m. If you're lucky, you will hit all 70 targets. If we are lucky, the weather will cooperate. It's just $150 per participant. A team of 5 is just $750, and a sponsorship is luckily $1,300. Sign up at artesiachamber.com or give us a call at 575-746-2744. We just said 7 luckies in 30 seconds. Luck must be on our side. Clays Crusher, September 18th, artesiachamber.com. Paid for by the Artesia and Eddy County Lodgers Tax.
Celebrate heroes during Roswell Ford's first annual 9/11 Hometown Heroes Car Show, Saturday, September 11th from 10 to noon at Roswell Ford. Register now at roswellford.com to enter in the car show. Entry is $20 with all proceeds going to benefit local charities. You must have your vehicle set up at Roswell Ford by 8 a.m. on September 11th with your vehicle on display until 1 p.m. Trophies will be awarded to all first place vehicle finishers in all categories, plus a $1,000 cash prize for the best overall finisher. Deadline to enter is September 6th. Do you know someone who makes a difference at home, at work or school, or in the community? Nominate them for the first ever Hometown Hero Award. Complete and submit your nomination form at roswellford.com. You can nominate anyone to be a hometown hero. One Roswell Ford hometown hero will be selected and honored during the event. Register now for the first annual Roswell Ford Hometown Heroes Car Show, Saturday, September the 11th. This event sponsored by LGS Guns and Ammo, 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, CRM Discount Awards and Sports, and National Furniture Liquidators.
Being in the Army National Guard is about more than just serving your country. It's about being there for your community when your neighbors need you most. The Army National Guard makes college affordable. Serving part-time lets you attend school full-time while you take advantage of education benefits that can help you graduate debt-free. If a civilian career is your goal, serving part-time allows you to work at a full-time job. The skills, qualities, and contacts you'll develop in the Guard can open doors to a great civilian career. Want to serve but worried about being away from friends and family? Part-time service in the Army National Guard allows you to serve close to home. Serving in the Army National Guard lets you have the life you want while you enjoy the many benefits of serving your community and nation. You owe it to yourself to learn more about how the Army National Guard can fit into your life. Visit nationalguard.com.
Sponsored by the New Mexico Army National Guard. Aired by the New Mexico Broadcasters Association and this station.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. 95% of people text things they could never say in person. Check your text messages. We just sent you something. Here's Mike Winters.
Joining us in studio this morning from Central Valley Electric Cooperative, Leah Boone back with us.
Good morning, Mike.
How are you?
I'm great. I hear you're not so good.
I'm improving.
I'm glad to hear that.
Today's the first day that I felt better than yesterday.
Oh.
So that's good. I'm still wiped. I'm still tired.
Yeah.
My head constantly hurts, but I'm not achy like I was days prior, and a little more energy than yesterday.
Oh, bless your heart. Well, we'll keep you in our thoughts and prayers.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I got vaccinated, but and And so that's why I'm lucky. I just have cold. I haven't really had chest bad, a little bit of coughing, but mostly my head.
Right.
And I don't smell much. I can smell a little bit. Like
sometimes
really
that can
stinky,
be beneficial.
yeah. If it's really stinky, I notice it. But if it's subtle, nah, I don't notice.
Wow, I hope you get that back.
I think I will. It's
good.
It's like I use a bottle of Thieves, the essential oils.
Yes.
As my tester because that's pretty pungent. So I open the bottle and I smell it, and I can smell it, but it's not strong like it was 2 weeks ago. Last time I smelled things. So.
Oh well, bummer.
Yeah. How are you doing?
Doing good. Good. Came here today to talk about a position that we have open at CVE and to maybe make mention of our home energy audit again.
Very good. Yeah, I know we talked, and then I wrote it down, and then COVID brain.
You have a good excuse. Don't worry about it.
Very good. So one thing I do know is when folks work at CVE, they tend to stay there a while.
That's right.
That's just something that's always been a part of that because, like the company, the people that pay the bill every month are investors and part of the co-op. The employees themselves are very much a family, and yes, they work side by side on the lines or in the office or wherever. Mm-hmm. But it's a very family, just a good place to work for. People look out for each other. It's socialized, close-knit. It's a family-like environment for a company of that size. It's pretty unusual.
It is. So. And as a matter of fact, the whole reason that we do have an opening is because somebody is retiring. And so,
that's what I figured.
Yeah, and some folks inside the co-op, which is also a really cool advantage, get to try to move into those positions or apply to move into those positions of those that retire. So, we try to keep as many in-house as we can, but this opens up an opportunity for other people to apply now. So,
very good.
Yeah, we have a receptionist position open. It's also a cashier position. And this is literally the person that you see when you first walk into Central Valley Electric. This will be the eyes of the co-op from the front door. Yeah.
Very good. So I would imagine customer service skills very much in demand for this position.
Oh, absolutely. And not just in person, but really good greeting skills in person and on the phone.
Very good.
Yep.
So what about like the computer side, the Excel and Word and all?
Well, you would definitely have to be computer savvy. There's no doubt about that. The database that we operate with is something that's very individualized to Central Valley Electric, so it does require more personalized training than you can. Yeah, software. You couldn't just go to a class and get that kind of training. So all of that is pretty much hands-on. If anybody does have any type of experience with an iView program or NISC, then that would definitely help. And a lot of utility providers use that, whether it be PVT, CVE, gas companies, water companies. A lot of people do use that type of database.
Gotcha. Mm-hmm. And like you said, this is your foot in the door with a great company, an entry level position, starting out here as the receptionist, customer service person. And from there, it's up to you. You excel in the job, and maybe you go farther into marketing and things, or who knows?
That's right.
Maybe you find other interests within CVE.
Very trustworthy person is needed in this position because there will be the handling of money. Definitely people who enjoy speaking with other people and getting involved with people and the public is definitely a requirement. I don't want to say that it's necessary for somebody to be Spanish speaking, but that's always a bonus.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would imagine that kind of makes the steps a little bit easier if you get a customer that calls in, or I guess say member owner.
Yes, a member owner. As a matter of fact, that's in the job description.
Would be a lot easier if you're able to converse with them in Spanish and save one more obstacle between you and the customer there.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. We want to be able to communicate effectively with all of our customers and members.
Very good. And what's is it the typical office hours, like an 8 to 5 type?
It is. It is. And I think I've told you before, I mean, Central Valley Electric is a very disciplined place to work. So if you are looking for, a full-time position, it's 8 to 5, Monday through Friday. Okay. And there might be occasional times, sometimes when our, if we do have a large outage going on, we do require some assistance from other people. And we do have dispatchers that take vacations. So, sometimes the receptionist or the cashiers will cover those shifts, which can be evening or weekend, because they operate with the same database and all the same equipment that the front desk folks do.
Okay. So there'll be familiarity there.
Yes. Yes.
Good deal. And opportunity for more money for those that need it. And,
that's right.
And who knows, growth. And I don't care where you work or whom you work for. The more skills, the more valuable, more tools you have in your belt makes you more valuable and kind of lets you write your ticket a little
That's
bit.
right.
So.
Yeah. Excellent attention to detail is another one that our HR person is really looking forward to. This is something that whenever you're doing different types of work orders, any type of thing that you're entering into the computer has to be very, very accurate. So attention to detail is important. Being organized is extremely important. Honest, trustworthy, all of those things. We have other simple items within the office to use too. We still have faxing opportunities, copiers, printers that need to be utilized, the cash drawers, the computers, the keyboards, calculator. If you know how to use a calculator, that's even better. Yep.
I had one on my wrist, calculator once. No, I was kidding.
You cheater. But all of the Microsoft programs too, we utilize quite a bit. So whether it be Windows, Excel, we do. I don't know that the ladies up front would have to do PowerPoint type things, but it certainly wouldn't hurt if you had all of those Microsoft type systems in your head. So that would be good.
At least the fundamentals. So,
yes.
So if you ever come across it, you're not completely flying by.
Right. And one of the things too, I think, Mike, is a good reason that a lot of people are interested in working at CVE, and we've had several applications already, is that we do offer health insurance. We do have a 401k. We have paid time off for sick leave as well as for vacation. So, all of this, there's a lot of benefits that go along with working at a cooperative, especially CVE.
Yeah, it's a real job, career, the type that you can help and support your family with.
That's right.
Especially with the benefits and all that come with it. That that's y'all's investment back into that person.
Yes.
So
yes,
that's great.
Yeah.
So get the best way is probably go to the CV Co-op website and apply.
Yes, there's a couple of different ways you can do that. So at cvecoop.org, you can go to the careers section, click on that, and that's the only job opening posted right now is the receptionist and cashier. So there's no other postings. And then you would just apply online, or you can click on it and then you can print it out and fill it out and then bring it to the office or mail it in, whatever is best. You can also come to the office at 1403 North 13th Street in Artesia and apply in person. That doesn't mean that you're going to get an interview right on spot, but you can fill it out in person and leave it with the folks at the front desk.
Yes. And of course, in case you're not aware, the position is at the main office there in Artesia on 13th.
That is correct.
Yeah.
Yep. Right when
Just
you
in
walk
case.
in the front door of the headquarters.
Yeah, it's real. Matter of fact, if you like, because I did the commute from Roswell to Artesia for a few years.
A while, yeah.
8 to be exact.
Wow.
But yeah, if you're on 13th, you can take 13th right from 285 there and shoot right in without getting it into the meat of town there.
That's true. And we do have folks that communicate. We have a few employees from Roswell that work in Artesia, and then some that work here in Roswell.
Very
so
good.
yeah, it's commuting is, if that's okay with somebody, then and they don't mind making that drive, then they can certainly apply too.
That it's good therapy, depending on when you have to do that drive.
I've heard that. Yeah.
And I used to have to do it early, so it wasn't. I even beat the oil field traffic.
Oh,
and
yeah.
so it was kind of nice, cathartic.
You were probably on the road at 4 a.m.
Yeah, it was early.
Yeah.
Because I had to be at the office at like 5:30, 6.
Yeah.
So I left at like 4:30.
Bless your heart.
Yeah. Yeah. Not anymore, though.
Good for you.
This morning I slept. I got up at 6:30 and walked 12 feet to my computer.
Oh, wow. That's nice.
Yeah.
Well, I got to tell you, I could see a big picture of you right across from me.
Big flat mic.
Yeah.
We call him
really
BFM.
Cool. Well, I like that. That's cool. I'd rather see you here in person, but this is not bad.
Well, if CVE needs BFM for anything,
okay,
he's available.
Okay, thanks.
I can't imagine what you would want him for. But
we might need you for if we get to have a member appreciation event this year.
There
Set
you
you
go.
up in the lobby.
That'll keep the riffraff out.
Yeah. I think the cardboard cutouts are a great idea.
Yeah, we had fun with that with the Historical Society and all that. So that was just one of the things that came out of it. So
yeah, I like it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I was just saying I like it. It's a good idea.
Yeah. So not only do we have the receptionist position here for folks that are looking for employment, but like you said, the home energy audit, you guys are now taking more, I guess, reservations to get that done if you haven't had one done, and you're a CVE member, of course.
We are, and we had we did a bunch at the end of last year and then earlier this year, and maybe it's because it's summertime or still kind of hot outside. I'm not sure, but the referrals have been a little more minimized, and we'd like to get that back up in numbers and make sure that our green metal energy folks can take care of folks before the fall, before the winter. Not that they won't work throughout the fall and winter, but it never hurts to get ahead of the game, especially when it comes to cold weather.
Well,
so,
we know, and especially when it comes to the air side, heating and cooling, it never breaks down at a convenient time.
No.
It doesn't. So to have this home energy audit, they'll come through and make sure your doors are sealed, make sure the vents are done and all that. And obviously take a look at those things to make sure they're working. But if it's minute stuff, sealing, just sealing in something, they do that
regardless.
Right then and there.
Yep.
But if it's something bigger, then they can let you know and get the ball rolling to rectify that.
That's right. So they start off with doing a blower door test, and I'm not sure that everybody knows what that is. I didn't know what it was until we first started doing these programs. But they pressurize your house to see where you're losing air, and they can detect that from an infrared system. And they have a pretty high-tech computer system that they enter all this information, and it tells them what they need to do to get that the pressures into a range that's better for the home, that's going to be energy efficient. So they do pre-test and post-test to make sure that they've made a difference in what happened with that pressure.
Yeah, and it's pretty quick, easy, painless. I mean, it takes, I had one done maybe 2 years ago, an hour and a half. It was in and out quick. It was a crew of like 3, and it was like a well-orchestrated, choreographed event.
They are, yeah. We have also the duct blaster test. That's something that they go in and check your ductwork. So if your ductwork is accessible in your attic or below your house, they can also check all of that to make sure that you don't have any penetrations within your ductwork. And if you do, and again, if it's minor, they can repair that for you.
Yeah, it's really quite impressive what they do too. And then of course with like you said, the fall, winter, the cooler months coming, they make sure your pipes and stuff under your sinks are insulated and good to go, so you don't have to worry about freezing pipes as much.
Yes, and they will check your water heater too to make sure that it's well insulated.
Very good.
Yeah, it's an amazing group of folks. We're thrilled to be working with them, and they do have their primary headquarters is in Fort Worth area, but they do have a team of people who work in Chaves County, Eddy County, so it's you don't have to wait long. If we make a referral these days, it takes about, if it's not the same day, it's within a week.
Oh wow, so quick turnaround.
Yep, really quick turnaround.
And the best news for CVE members, completely free.
It's free, no cost. However you want to phrase that. It's no expense to the member.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, obviously, if they say your air conditioner's shot, we need to replace it, they ain't giving out free AC.
No,
but
no, we have a maximum budget for each household. really regardless of the size. So it just depends on, if there's something beyond that budget that they can't repair, then they're just going to be very upfront with us as well as the homeowner. So,
sure. Absolutely. And since we're talking home energy real quick, I do want to, throw the plug in. If you're looking for different ways for heating and cooling your home and things, CVE's always been kind of a example for the geothermal system. The CVE headquarters there, if you're applying for a job, check it out while you're there.
That's true. It's very interesting.
Yeah, but it uses the earth to heat and cool. It saves tons of money. It's more efficient. It's less. It's more green, cheaper in the long run.
Yes,
and more effective, and it checks all the boxes. It's like it's eco, but it's actually cost saving and more effective at the same. So it's a win-win for everyone.
It really is. And the other residential applications that we've helped people with are still up and running. They're doing great. They're saving people money. It's a very good investment if you can do it, especially up front when you're building a new home.
Yeah, exactly. So if you're thinking about that stuff and kind of wanting some information examples, please, CVE is a resource for you.
That's right.
And they could probably put you in touch with the folks that do that kind of stuff too.
Oh yeah, and we'll go over any type of rebates that are in place for geothermal as well as any air source heat pumps. And right now, that's what our program includes, our air source heat pumps. But they do have some different ratings that we require for the rebate. That doesn't mean you can't do what you want, but to get the rebate, we do have certain requirements and measurements for how much heating and cooling can be saved.
Yeah, I understand the Tim the Tool Man philosophy. It's like more is better.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to argue with you. You're right. But with AC and heating and overkill can be bad too.
It can. You're right. And we've actually seen that happen a few times. And we hate that those things do happen, but it's really a good idea maybe to get a second opinion if something doesn't seem quite right. And, I think that there are tons of people in the Carlsbad too, Carlsbad and Artesia, and then also Chaves County. I know there's people who all kinds of equipment providers. You have lots of choices.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, definitely ask around and all that too. And like you said, as far as equipment, even like hot water heaters and things, if you want energy efficient, discounted, CV has selections of those. They can help with all that stuff.
Right.
So.
Yeah, we sell the Rheem Marathon water heaters.
Okay.
And they have the extra insulation. They have a titanium and a copper heating element, top and a bottom. And they come with a 5 to 6 year warranty on the parts. We're still a little unclear about that because we're due to have a meeting with our provider. So hopefully we'll get that clarified soon, but at least 5 years. And then if you get it registered within 90 days of purchase, you can get a lifetime warranty on the tank.
Nice.
Yeah, super nice.
If you're new to Southeast New Mexico, first off, welcome. But for those who've been here a while, and whatever lifespan they give you on a hot water heater, with its, I've seen some as 25 years. Here in Southeast New Mexico, throw that out the window.
Yeah.
You will never get a full shelf life here because our water's just so hard,
right?
And it's brutal on them. If you get 60 to 70% of that life, you're doing pretty good.
Well, and we do recommend soft water systems being in place, especially in some areas where we know that the water is hard, because that will help the breakdown of the water heater. Mm-hmm.
But sometimes our water's so hard it doesn't
matter. Yeah.
I mean, it does matter, but what we would call soft is still very hard in other circles.
Very true. Very true. I can tell a difference because we have a water softener, and I can tell a difference when I go to my mom's or my sister's, and the water is just different.
Yeah. I grew up, my family, my dad, my grandfather, and it went on to my uncle. They had a company in upstate New York called Beacon Water Equipment Company, and they still do. And that's what they do is water softeners and water treatment, and that's their thing. So I grew up water softeners in the house and all that, and knowing all about. I used to help my grandfather build the water softeners and put the resin and all that together. So
oh wow.
So I have very, very limited knowledge of that stuff.
Doesn't sound like that you do.
Yeah. I know just enough to be dangerous.
Oh, okay.
Like many of the other aspects of my life.
Right. Well, we all do that. We all stick our hands in different pots.
This is true. While we got you here,
yes.
How was as far as apps and things? And I know you, like over the past year, there's been a few scammers and things like that. Any of that kind of stuff going on right now that we need to raise the flag on for people?
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that because I thought we had it kind of tamed and not under control necessarily, but that one of our situations had gone to the wayside. But last week I had a fellow bring in a postcard, and on that postcard it said CVE on it. It didn't say Central Valley Electric Cooperative, but it said CVE. So again, it's kind of misleading. Sure. And it was a company that was trying to encourage people to consider solar and offering benefits and offering incentives and things like that. And he actually was considering solar and came in our office and asked about what are these incentives. And I explained to him that was not us. And, if you look at the very fine print, it does say that they're located somewhere in, I don't know, Boston, maybe, for just for lack of a,
you got
better.
to be careful.
I know.
People are sneaky.
I know. Yeah. So, but they put real big bold letters, CVE. So I just don't, people get really creative with those kinds of things. And we have seen that postcard before. And so I pointed it out that, this is not in the state of New Mexico, and this is, certainly not our co-op. So, but.
Well, and that gentleman did the right thing.
Yes.
If you get anything in the mail or email or whatever that looks like it's from CVE and it's offering some kind of rebate or program or discount or something,
right.
ease of something, and it looks suspect, even if it doesn't look, don't hesitate.
Yes.
Call CVE,
yes.
Call the office, and they'll be happy to get you straight on it. It's like, no, that's us, or no, that's not us.
And that is very true. And we do have sometimes communication barriers with people who are calling outside of the co-op to different members' homes. And believe you me, we do not give out any private information. We don't give out addresses. We don't give out phone numbers. So how people get these phone numbers of people, I have no idea. But we do have people that call our members, and as well as probably XL customers too, and identify themselves as being with a certain company. And then because of language or communication issues, they don't always understand what's going on. Yeah. So we do get some calls from some of our members that have questions about, well, why is this person calling me if they're not one of your people? And, 9 times out of 10, they're not involved with CVE. So
sure. Well, just a good rule of thumb, general, if people are trying to get you to pay for things via gift cards or money orders or anything like that, 9 times out of 10, it's shady.
Exactly.
99.9% of the time.
Well, and we don't take payments over the phone, period. We have our Smart Hub program, which you've helped me discuss with the communities before. And that is the secure way of making payments, the secure way of managing your usage and looking at what you use. And it's, we try to make sure that everything is done securely and safely.
Absolutely. And like I said, if anything doesn't pass the smell test for you, don't hesitate to call CVE, and they'll get you straight.
That's right. And if somebody doesn't know what the answer is, they'll find it. And we get a lot of calls like that. So
yeah, and you're actually helping CVE too, because you guys want to be aware of,
that's right,
of what people are putting out there and what so you can go on your end and try to mitigate some of that stuff.
Very true. Very true.
Yeah. Is there anything else we wanted to cover that we forgot or skipped over?
I do need to alert our communities that today is a peak day that's been called by our wholesale power provider. This will be our 6th one for the year. I think they can call up to 10. Okay. So today, between the hours of 4 p.m. and 6 p.m., we ask that everybody try to beat the peak, if you will. And that's just an opportunity for us to save on energy during that time. So, things that you could do are be sure to turn off your lights that you're not using at that time, turn off any equipment that you're not using, Maybe turn that air conditioner up a few notches just to keep you comfortable for a couple of hours.
Sure.
And don't turn on your ovens. Try not to do any laundry during that time. And that will help measure what our energy purchases look like in the future. Therefore, that helps with our rate design, and then it helps with the rates for our customers. So if you can beat that peak and just cut back on using power from 4 to 6 today, we would greatly appreciate it.
Well, obviously, I think today's one of those days that they're calling for temps.
Yes.
Either at or near 100. I imagine Eddy County is probably going to hit the 100. We're going to be right about at it.
Well, and our wholesale power provider is located in Oklahoma. We actually have 2, but they seem to always be aware of the hotter days. So they usually they call it right on those days where it's going to hit 100.
Yeah. So even if you're not a Central Valley Electric member,
right?
Still probably a good idea.
It is.
It is. Conserve that power a little bit.
We're all part of the Southwest Power Pool. So
it's all connected.
It is all connected. So it's right. Any customer or any member, anybody that receives electric services should conserve all the time, but today especially between 4 and 6.
Yeah. Go read a book for 2 hours.
Yeah. Do something. Grill outside if you have a pretty strict, dinner regimen. Go do something fun. Go. Yeah. But I think that's it. I can give out our phone number again. It's 575-746-3571. Our website is www.cvecoop.org.
Mm-hmm.
And we do have a direct email opportunity. If you have a question, if you don't feel comfortable giving us a call, you can send us an email via our website and member services.
Yeah, good. And of course, you can always like and follow Central Valley Electric Cooperative on Facebook.
That's right.
You might want to type in all of that. There's some, just don't do CVE. You could probably find it, but there's some stuff that's close to that might confuse you.
And we are Central Valley Electric in the state of New Mexico, not Central New Mexico. That happens a time or two, but we did put some information on Facebook today in regard to ways to save and beat that peak. So
yeah, absolutely. So, and of
check
course,
it out.
If you need any help with any questions about anything, if you want to learn more about the geothermal or any of that stuff, and certainly if you're looking for a career, here's a chance to start in as a receptionist for your basically the front lines for customer service for CVE right now. Apply online, cvecoop.org.
That's right.
Awesome. Well, thank you, ma'am.
Well, and thank you, Mike. And I sure hope you get better and better.
Well, thank you. I think today's the first day I'm feeling optimistic.
I'm glad. I'm glad, and hope to see you in person soon.
I should be. If all goes according to plan, this is my last week here.
Okay, good.
So, awesome. Well, thank you, Leah. We'll see you next time.
All right, bye-bye.
Okay, take care.
Okay, thank you.
And free admission for members and Roswell residents. Hands-on activities are offered from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., and a planetarium show is at 11. Second Saturdays are generously supported by the RMAC Foundation. Education leaders in Carlsbad have approved an application for more than $8 million to come from the federal pandemic relief money to address immediate needs of schools affected by the pandemic. The funding designed to help maximize in-person learning, sustain the safe operation of schools, and address the academic, social, emotional, and mental health needs of students. And the Carlsbad City Council approves its own spending of $164 million for future public works projects. The Infrastructure Capital Improvement Plan, or ICIP, is a working list of projects in Carlsbad. You're up to date. That's a look at local news headlines. I'm Jared Sorello reporting.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Things look sunny and dry today with our afternoon high hitting about 90. Overnight looks clear with our low in the upper 60s, and then high pressure will stay in place over eastern New Mexico tomorrow. Sunshine and a little bit warmer with afternoon highs in the mid-90s. Clear Tuesday night and then sunny and hot again on Wednesday, about 95. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
With the SRN News Business Brief, I'm Bill Alexander. The House panel investigating the January 6th riot at the U.S. Capitol issued sweeping document requests on Friday to social media companies, expanding the scope of the investigation. The requests were issued to technology giants including Google, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. A robotics company that produces driverless vehicles for grocery, pizza, and prescription deliveries said Thursday it intends to spend $40 million to put a manufacturing facility and a test track in the Las Vegas area. The firm, Neuro, is based in Mountain View, California. On Wall Street, the Dow up 242 points to 35,455. The Nasdaq gained 183 to 15,129, and the S&P 500 ahead 39 points to 4,509. With the SRN News Business Brief, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
The massive vehicle elimination event is on now at Roswell Honda. A huge roundup of clean, quality pre-owned vehicles marked way down to clear the lot. They need the space, so you get the savings. Like a 2014 Grand Caravan for just $169 a month, a 2010 Honda Pilot for just $159 a month, or a 2014 Chevy Cruze for just $139 a month. And with $2,000 of payment assistance, now is the best time ever to buy. Get a 12-pack for stopping by, a smartwatch with qualified test drive, and Monopoly with every purchase. The massive vehicle elimination event on now at Roswell Honda. 2177 West 2nd.
Martine's Capital Cafe in Roswell offers authentic and highly rated New Mexico food. Explore their amazing menu featuring huevos rancheros or asado with eggs or their green chili stew. And you can't forget their award-winning green chili cheeseburger, all made from scratch using their finest and freshest ingredients. Open for carryout with curbside delivery or limited dine-in. Just call ahead 624-2111. Martine's Capital Cafe, always pleasing the most refined palate. Open Monday through Saturday from 6 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. at 110 West 4th in Roswell.
Wreck 'em.
He's got the catch as he dives into the end zone. Touchdown, Red Raiders!
It's time to pave the way for the LBK.
Show the world what it means to come from Lubbock, Texas.
Tech has won this game.
Join us Saturday, September 4th, as the Red Raiders kick off the season against Houston on your home for Red Raider football, the Texas Tech Sports Network from Learfield.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. You cannot snore and dream at the same time, unless you're dreaming about snoring. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 8:56. Stay tuned next hour, about 9:15 or so, give or take a few minutes there. We're going to play our interview we had Friday, with Donna Blake Burchell from, she's actually down in Carlsbad, historian, author, and, does a lot with the Historical Society in Carlsbad, but very much an active part in the Historical Society here as well, too. And matter of fact, she joined us to talk all about their big rare book fair that's happening this Saturday at the Historical Society's archives facility. So we're going to play that for you next hour. We talk a little bit of books and history and all that with her. It's a great conversation. We're going to have Friday, the day before, John LeMay will join us. He's I always call Donna the John LeMay of the South. That's my, and I think I make that joke in the interview. But Donna does a lot of the things that John does here. Author, history buff, just help and support history. They're kind of cut from the same cloth, these two. They're really great people. But anyway, Donna joined us on Friday. We're going to play that interview for you here next hour. Hey, I just got the September blood drives for Vitalant. And if you want to donate blood, your next opportunity will be this week in Artesia, September 1st. They're going, which is Wednesday, if I remember right. They will be at J&J Home Care in Artesia from 11 to 3. If you don't want to go to Artesia, well, then on Friday, September 3rd, they will be at the Roswell, it says Roswell Communities, I guess the Civic Center? It says Roswell Community Center in Roswell from 11 to 2:30, September 3rd. I guess that's the Civic Center? I'm not 100% certain. And then next week, they're having a blood drive event for several days at the New Mexico Military Institute there in the ballroom. Next week, September 7th, 8th, and 9th. It will be, I guess that's, is that Wednesday, Thursday, Friday of next week? Or I think it's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday of next week, I think, off the top of my head. But anyway, that'll be next week from All 3 days are 11 to 4 at New Mexico Military Institute there. So best way is call or text Stephanie with Vitalant to get on there. You can go to their website, Vitalant's website, and sign up, or call these places. You can probably call the Institute and sign up for blood drives through there too, and donate. It's really great way to help out. It's if you're able to donate blood, it's the easiest thing you can do that has the biggest impact on helping others. You're able to donate blood. It's pretty simple on your part. I know we all build it up in our head, and it really isn't that bad. It's not bad at all. It really isn't. It's sometimes can be pleasant. I wouldn't go that far every time, but it's nice. It's not bad. It's not scary. It's easy. And that blood's going to save someone's life usually within a week later. It's pretty cool. So sign up throughout the month for the month and donate sometime. That'd be a good thing. All right, it is closing in on 9 o'clock. Time for some Town Hall News. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico. We'll be back. Don't go away.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. People are now getting back out on the rubble-strewn streets of New Orleans, a city blasted by Hurricane Ida. Along with widespread property damage, there's severe flooding. Countless roads are closed, some people trapped in their homes. More than 1 million utility customers without power. And while Ida is now a tropical storm, it does remain very dangerous, unleashing flooding rains.
Especially over inland areas of Mississippi, Alabama, and then spreading into Tennessee and Kentucky over the next 1 to 3 days.
The National Hurricane Center's Philippe Papin says tornadoes are also possible, spawned by the storm as it continues to march across the southeast. The Afghanistan evacuation mission is winding down.
122,000 were evacuated, approximately 5,400 Americans.
General Hank Taylor at the Pentagon. Some congressional Republicans have gone on the warpath, furious with President Biden's handling of the Afghanistan withdrawal.
They're calling for his resignation, impeachment, and even for the 25th Amendment to be invoked to end his presidency. Some of the GOP lawmakers pushing for President Biden's ouster are familiar voices of the opposition, like Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene, who called for impeachment, Representative Madison Cawthorn, who urged Mr. Biden's cabinet to remove him from office via the 25th Amendment, and Senator Josh Hawley, who demanded that Mr. Biden resign. Democrat-turned-Republican Congressman Jeff Van Drew introduced a resolution with a dozen colleagues to censure the president. Bernie Bennett, Washington.
The U.S. military says 5 rockets targeted the Kabul airport earlier today. American forces on the airfield using a missile defense system to intercept each of those rockets. On Wall Street this hour, stocks in positive territory. Right now, the Dow is up 32 points. The Nasdaq trading 132 points higher, and the S&P is up 24 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
One listener that stands out that I work with was this older couple that was interested in refinancing. They reached out to a few different lenders. Their credit wasn't the best. I know some of these other bigger banks, you just won't hear back from them, which I cannot stand. Not everybody has the 780 credit scores, and just because you don't qualify at one time doesn't mean that you'll never qualify. I'll walk you through what you have to do, whether it's 2, 3, 6 months from now. Back to that older couple, we worked with them for months and months to improve their credit, and we were able to get the loan done. We were saving them hundreds each month, thousands of dollars a year, finally got themselves into a situation financially that they can handle, and they could start saving money each month for retirement. End of the day, they just could not be happier, which just put a huge smile on my face.
We are United Faith Mortgage.
United Faith Mortgage is a DBA of United Mortgage Corp. 25 Melville Park Road, Melville, New York. Licensed mortgage banker. For all licensing information, go to NMLS or corporate NMLS number 1330. Equal housing lender. License in Alaska, Hawaii, Georgia, Massachusetts, North Dakota, South Dakota, or Utah.
The UN's Atomic Agency says North Korea appears to have restarted its main nuclear reactor used to produce weapons-grade fuel.
The annual report by the International Atomic Energy Agency comes as North Korea openly threatens to enlarge its nuclear arsenal amid long-dormant nuclear diplomacy with the United States. The report refers to a 5-megawatt reactor at the North's main nuclear complex in Yongbyon, north of Pyongyang. The reactor produces plutonium, one of the 2 key ingredients to build nuclear weapons, along with highly enriched uranium.
Correspondent Jeremy House. The Cuban government says it will recognize and regulate cryptocurrencies for payments on the island. Resolution published in the Official Gazette says the central bank will set rules for such currencies and determine how to license providers of related services within Cuba. Breaking news and analysis at townhall.com. Salt substitutes work. That's the bottom line of a large-scale health study.
21,000 Chinese villagers with a history of strokes or high blood pressure took part in the study. Half received a salt substitute, which had some sodium chloride extracted and replaced with potassium chloride, which can help lower blood pressure. After 5 years, 3,000 participants had suffered a stroke, but for those on the salt substitute, the proportion was 14% lower and there were 12% fewer premature deaths.
The BBC's Simon Dedman. The 2-week-old Caldor fire prompting more evacuations around the Tahoe Basin in Northern California. Officials describe the fire as more aggressive than anticipated as it continues, edging ever closer to Lake Tahoe. Once again on Wall Street this hour, stocks higher, the Dow is up 26 points. More on these stories, townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number, leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it, flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ, the travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio, I'm on a Mexican
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3 of Mornings with Mike Winters right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Monday. With coconut, I see.
I did.
Yeah, I looked down and I was like, ooh, coconut.
You were looking at that thing like one looks at a lover.
It looks tasty.
You were undressing my donut with your eyes, sir.
Nice.
I don't believe I've seen that look in your eye in quite some time.
I guess I need a donut. I didn't think I wanted one until I saw that one. I was like, hey, I think I want a donut.
There's a fire under you.
Well, you know, I don't touch it unless it's chocolate, but
Yeah.
I can appreciate it. I do like coconut.
There's some in there with chocolate lotion just covering other than
Well, I'm digging right in.
Right. A donut for a...
as long as ain't no fake white chocolate nonsense up there.
Very discerning customer. Actually, I'm curious because it's coconut, but then it's frosted underneath. So I'm curious if the frosting
So
is
it's a glazed
flavored.
coconut donut.
Yes.
Yes. I bet it's tasty.
I'm sure it is.
You can try it on air if you want.
Well, no pressure.
Donuts.
Oh. Actually, quite nice.
Nice.
Coconutty.
All right. Coconut.
Thanks, Chris.
There you go. That's how salespeople bribe on-air staff with food. Usually it works. Money's better, though.
I'm owed like 7 back lunches.
Yeah. Dude, I should probably never buy lunch again. I'm pretty sure I should never have to pay for a lunch again. I've been owed so many lunches.
Oh, yeah.
It's a weird flex, I know. People owe me so many lunches.
You know, when you sit in your box and you talk to yourself, you sort of like forget how kind of like known you are.
Yeah.
Then you make a random.
Did you have an incident?
You make a random post on Facebook and it sort of becomes the biggest post of the entire friggin' weekend.
I caught a glimpse.
Was not
I
my
can't remember if I
intention.
hearted it or not, but I think I saw it.
That was not my intention at all. But
did it create a backlash?
I was telling Jazz, like, how do you feel to be a part of Roswell's newest it couple? I had no idea. Yeah,
everything kosher.
It was fine. Yes, it was good.
Good.
All positives came from it. You know?
Well, good.
Just kind of interesting to see that from that perspective.
And it's a happy.
Oh, absolutely.
Happy post. And I think we just live in a world, too, where people are just wanting good news. They're tired of people's... Because let's face it, Facebook is a cesspool of people just sharing every little bad thing in their world. And, I can't believe I had to settle for the mango instead of chutney. Whatever it is, or just, I can solve everybody's problems. I'll fix the government. Just give me an hour, that
exactly.
stuff.
Oh, God.
And so when someone says, oh, look, here's something actually worth me wasting my time on.
Here's social media being social for a change. What a concept.
I pray. I ain't going to lie. I will never judge the people that take foodie pics again.
Yeah.
I give for those days of just... I want to just look at your
pictures.
It
was a simpler time.
It was. I just, wonderful. That's a great looking burrito. Awesome. Good job, man. I just want to go on to those days again.
It's funny too. There's certain times of the year where like, I guess I was just more gung ho about keto than other times of the year. So like certain times,
you get reminders.
Right now, my memories on Facebook are all just like the chaffle was amazing, and like all these different recipes I was trying. And for a minute, just for a quick minute, I'm like, I could go back.
I was saying those are those reminders going. I haven't done keto in a while. I need to get keto back up.
I feel like I could make it work again.
But this is the cool part, because now you're not keto and you're not blowing back up to Sean Smalls of 10 years ago. That's a good thing.
It is.
Yeah.
Like I altered my body's DNA or something.
And the ladies are noticing. And the fellas.
Yeah, that's right.
But cool. That's awesome. Good to hear that. So I have more I want to ask, but not right now.
It's fine. I don't necessarily know if there's more I want to tell.
Don't stop me from asking.
That's true.
This.
Never has before.
For fear of not getting an answer, you think that's ever stopped me? But awesome. Good deal. We're going to play our interview we had with Donna Blake Burchell. I call her the John LeMay of the South.
Ooh, nice.
She is an author and historian and does a lot of work there, but works hand in hand with everyone here at the Historical Society in the northern half of southeast New Mexico. So,
of all the interviews we pulled off during the Big Flat Mike era, that's the one I'm the proudest of.
Well, yeah, because neither person talked to each other in the room.
We were just a tunnel.
Yeah,
we were just a tunnel to connect two people.
It was just a conduit. Donna was in Carlsbad, I'm assuming, and then of course I was at the Casa de Mi, and we did that interview on Friday.
Yeah,
it worked.
I was so as soon as I heard both voices, I'm like, oh yeah,
yeah. Well, I just didn't know if she could hear me. I was like, I can hear her, but I don't know if she'll be able to hear me. That's what I was worried about. So I'm glad she heard me.
I mean, I know it is us patting ourselves on the back that we made a successful phone call, but still, though.
Hey, you know what? I'm all for celebrating that. If y'all are at restaurants and you nail that dish and y'all high five each other back, I'll give you a thumbs up because I'm for that.
Nope.
His wheels are churning. It is 12 minutes after 9 o'clock. Let's go ahead and get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Things look sunny and dry today with our afternoon high hitting about 90. Overnight looks clear with our low in the upper 60s, and then high pressure will stay in place over eastern New Mexico tomorrow. Sunshine and a little bit warmer with afternoon highs in the mid-90s. Clear Tuesday night and then sunny and hot again on Wednesday, about 95. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 76 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 67%. Winds currently out of the north at 10 miles per hour. For today, at least during the day, mostly sunny, high of 92. We do have a 20% chance of some rain showers. They say for this afternoon after 4 is when they start. They're still throwing a chance of some rain this morning before 10. Not here, maybe other parts of the county, but not here. They say some of the storms tonight could produce some heavy rainfall, mostly sunny. Otherwise today, high of 92, north winds 5 to 10 this afternoon. 20% chance of rain continues tonight, mainly before 10, so 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. Is the sweet spot for rain. They say some storms could produce some heavy rainfall. Partly cloudy, overnight low of 68 with southeast winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Mostly sunny for you Tuesday. A little warmer tomorrow, 95 the expected high with south winds 5 to 10. Mostly clear tomorrow night with an overnight low of 70. South winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Looking at the rest of the week, sunny and 94 for your Wednesday. Southeast winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. Beginning Thursday and going through the weekend, we've got rain chances once again. Looks like our best chances of rain right now will be Thursday. 40% chance of rain Thursday, mostly sunny, high of 93. 40% for Thursday night as well, mostly cloudy, overnight low of 70. Friday, a 30% chance of showers, mostly sunny, high of 91. Saturday, a 20% chance of showers, sunny, high of 90, and a 20% Sunday as well. Sunny skies, highs near 90. So could see some rain for at least some of your Labor Day weekend. Do not know what Monday looks like yet. We'll have that for you tomorrow. All right, it is 9:14. Let's go ahead and take a quick commercial break. And then on the other side of the break, our interview with Donna Blake Burchell talking about the Rare Book Fair the Historical Society will be having this Saturday. That's on the other side. Don't go away.
We serve all New Mexico. If you think it's hard to take out a home loan, those rumors are wrong. It's not true. Contact Loan Officer Elliot Rodriguez, MLS number 41002 at CMG Financial, phone number 719-237-4680. At CMG Financial, we can help. Experience extraordinary with CMG Financial, every customer, every time, no exceptions, no excuses. CMG Financial is a registered trade name of CMG Mortgage Incorporated, MLS 1820. CMG Mortgage Incorporated is equal opportunity lender. To verify complete list of the state's license, visit www.mlsconsumersaccess.org.
Equal fair housing is the right for everyone to have access to all housing opportunities without discrimination based on race, religion, national origin, sex, color, familial status, or disability.
Platinum Auto Services specializes in complete automotive care. It's the shop that does it all. From auto diagnostics and repair to dress up, rig up, and clean up, Platinum Auto Services has you covered. Platinum accepts all fleet management accounts and offers free pickup and delivery. Oil changes, tires, alignments, suspension, lift kits, and easy approval financing available for those unexpected repairs. Give us a call. The shop that does it all. Platinum Auto Services, 575-689-6900.
College football is back on the High Plains, and 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM is your Southeast New Mexico home for ENMU Greyhound football. Your ENMU Greyhounds welcome in Central Washington September 2nd, 6 p.m. Sponsored by J.P. Stone Community Bank and Rooney Moon Broadcasting to kick off the 2021 football season. Tickets are only $10 for adults. Kids 8 and under get in free. Call 575-562-2153 or visit goeasternathletics.com for more information. Eastern New Mexico football, all in.
Bob Reed Pest Control is committed to providing the most modern pest control management solutions for homes and businesses. Bob Reed can handle every aspect of pest control, from general insects to trees, shrubs, yard treatments, and commercial weed control. They're the only authorized Centricon termite elimination system operator in southeastern New Mexico. No job is too big or too small. Call Bob Reed Pest Control today. Southeastern New Mexico's pest management professionals, 623-5344, and find them fast in names and numbers.
The massive vehicle elimination event is on now at Roswell Honda. A huge roundup of clean, quality pre-owned vehicles marked way down to clear the lot. They need the space, so you get the savings. Like a 2014 Grand Caravan for just $169 a month, a 2010 Honda Pilot for just $159 a month, or a 2014 Chevy Cruze for just $139 a month. And with $2,000 of payment assistance, now is the best time ever to buy. Get a 12-pack for stopping by, a smartwatch with qualified test drive, and Monopoly with every purchase. The massive vehicle elimination event on now at Roswell Honda. 2177 West 2nd.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Ketchup was used as a medicine back in the 1930s. Mike uses ketchup to make friends. He doesn't have a lot of friends. Here's Mike Winters.
Joining us on the phone this morning is Donna Blake Burchell. Good morning, Donna. Can you hear me okay?
Good morning. Yes, I can.
Great. It worked. How are you?
Can I just really quickly just take a quick victory lap? We did it, everybody. Okay, as you were. Go on.
Well, first off, Donna, good morning. Thank you for spending a few minutes with us today. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you very much for having me today.
And, of course, we love talking to you, and really everybody. We love talking history, so it's always fun to have yourself or anyone from the Historical Society on. So coming up hard to believe this, but it's next weekend. September 4th is next weekend.
Right.
The Historical Society for Southeast New Mexico is having their historic book fair. And this is an opportunity for folks to get books that are rare, out of print, certainly books that aren't available on Amazon or things like that. These are rare, out of print books that the Historical Society has extras of. And I want to stress that. Extras. The one copies of, the unique, only have one of, or have one, or have very limited copies of, those are not available at the book fair. These are other books. They're all rare, but the Historical Society has 3-4 copies. And I'm going to be honest with you, they're keeping the good copy for themselves. So if there's one that's got a better dust jacket or a better condition, or they'll cannibalize to make, like, one's got a better dust jacket, but the actual binding's better on the other, they'll swap them. But so you're not getting the best of what they're keeping that for preservation. But extras have a chance to add to your collection. And I should let Donna talk now. She's the expert here. but I know we had some people ask and say, hey, are you getting rid of all the books? No. They're just getting rid of the extras. So we want to put that out there first. So, I guess fill in the gaps there, Donna's. Anything that I didn't miss there that you want to tell folks about the fair?
Well, they're actually going to have several authors there signing their books. We'll have John LeMay, who is, one of your Roswellites, and he's going to be there signing one of his many, 30 books that he has out now.
He's got a plethora.
And they're going to have a few of mine there as well, which I'm so grateful for, and including my newest, the New Mexico Mission Churches, and Wicked Women, and Haunted Hotels, and all the fun ones. And so it'll be a good time, and it'll be a fun time to meet the local authors, and a big shout out to Amy and her staff at the Historical Museum for bringing us all together and bringing us for this event, because it's important that we get our books out there, but it's also important that history gets out there as well.
Absolutely. I was talking with, I think it was Amy yesterday or the other day, and I was talking about the Historical Society and the books and the authors and the local, like yourself and John. And I joked, but it's kind of not a joke. John kind of covers everything on this end of the Pecos Valley, and then you got everything on the southern end. So I always kind of compare. I was like, Don is the John of the South, and Don is the John is the Don of the North.
Okay.
but I think between the two of you guys have a great library of books that really showcase and spotlight a lot of different facets of history in Southeast New Mexico.
Absolutely.
So I think that's why,
like John has covered Lincoln County and Chavez County, and branched out in several other ways as well. I've kind of branched out through the entire state. I just didn't want to. We have so much history. I mean, we could still write probably another 50 books each on the history that's in these two counties alone, and it just is mind-boggling.
Get cracking in there. You got 50 books to write. Get in there.
We're working on it.
I'm just kidding. Well, this is cool. Now, so let's mark it on the calendars. It's Saturday, September 4th, 1 week from tomorrow. And it's going to be from 9 a.m. to noon. And it will be at the Archives building there, which is right next door to the museum, 208 North Lee. Again, these are out-of-print books, rare, hard-to-find books. Also, if you're feeling a little
like gambly a little bit when I feel a little lucky. I know that's more Clint Eastwood, but we could work it in here. But they also have mystery bags. $5, you get the bag, and I guarantee you're not going to get shortchanged. You're going to get your value, but you don't know what's in there. It could be I don't know, older rare book, could be another older rare book. I mean, it could be anything, but just have a little fun with it. And of course, like you said, Donna will be there signing books. John will be there signing books, and also David Minton, and he's a Lee County historian. He'll be there as well. And so the part about this is you get the rare books and stuff, but now you've got these authors right there that you can chat about Southeast New Mexico history or New Mexico history, and obviously get books signed and get copies of Donna's book and John's books and all that good stuff. So, but it's gonna be a lot of fun if you've never been to one of the book fairs.
Well,
so are you a collector? I'm sorry. Go ahead, Donna.
I said I'd love to see everyone there, and I'd like to challenge everyone. They're having a coin drive for the museum as well. It seems that they're having a bit of trouble with the foundation, and we can't have that happen. So we need to bring in any coins that you have. I know there's been some people out there hoarding coins during the pandemic, me included, and I'm going to bring mine along to get them started on that coin drive. We need to keep that old lady going.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's been a interesting year for the Historical Society, between roof leaks and roof replacements for not only just the museum but the archives facility. It was the carriage house just before COVID, and then so when it rains it pours, literally here. Of course, foundation issues, the trees, branches falling in the streets, and all this stuff is kind of compiled, and I think the number Amy had mentioned a couple weeks ago was like they need like $60,000 by November to help offset some of these costs. So yes, bring your change. Folding kind fits in those things too.
Right.
Matter of fact, if you ever become a guest on the show, the radio show, we have our big Coca-Cola coin. People can drop money into there, but we don't get the foot traffic that some other places get.
Okay.
So I'm curious, Don, are you a book collector yourself, or you just write them?
Yes, actually, I am very much a book collector. I have inherited probably thousands of books from my dad, and then I have added to it over the years to the point where it's kind of taking over the house. And I love old books. As a former librarian, books are my life, and I just love the smell of them and the idea of them and reading them. I don't get to read them as much as I want to, but sure. I can't.
Well, I would also think too, the ones you have read, the ones that are like everyone has favorite books or favorite stories and things like that, and to have the books, especially if it's a story that you've had with you since you were a child,
right?
Those evoke, like you just even picking up the book and seeing it, like picking up off the shelf and looking at it, you're like, it starts evoking those memories of how you associate with that book or that story. So It's not always just the contents in the book itself, it's how you relate to those words and where you were when you first came across this book. And it's a lot of that works, part of the collector side too.
Right. And we have so many good historical books about New Mexico that have been written and have been forgotten about. And it's nice that they're going to bring them out into the open and and offer these to people to purchase because, there's some great information out there that's been forgotten, and it's fun. John and I can only bring out as much as we can, but it's good to know. It's good to know this background that we have in the state.
Well, and this is kind of the tip of the iceberg on the real whole point and the part of what the Historical Society is all about. When we talk about preserving history for Southeast New Mexico, providing a home for not only it to reside and be preserved for future generations, but a place to catalog and spotlight current history and things going on. But the point that kind of makes here is, when you support the Historical Society, bringing these donations, buying these books, you're doing the same thing. You're preserving the legacy of these books, because let's face it, without our Historical Society, without our organizations that preserve history, what happens to it? Certainly the Smithsonian's a great big organization that collects a lot of artifacts and a lot of history. But when it comes to Southeast New Mexico, who's going to put that care and dedication to it? Southeast people, New Mexicans, they're going to do it. Right. And that's what the Historical Society is all about. So by you coming out to the book fair and shopping and collecting for your own selves, you're also doing your part in preserving history for future generations.
Right. And
I know it's a
Roswell
little hokey,
is
but
so extremely lucky to have the Historical Society that they do. In Carlsbad, we have the Southeastern New Mexico Historical Society, which is, always confused with the Historical Society of Southeastern New Mexico. But
fortunately, everyone likes to help each other.
Right, exactly. And, we've got some help from Roswell, and it's been wonderful. But we've, ever since we've lost our historian, Jed Howard, all of our artifacts, all of our photographs and everything else has been in storage for the past 3 years. And it's not accessible. You have an accessible archive that is fantastic. And that's a goal for us here in Carlsbad, is to have something like that available to the citizens so that they can come in and look up, history for whatever project they're working on, or, tourists that came through and, looking up their family, and it's great to have, and you guys are extremely lucky to have that there.
Yeah, absolutely. We are very fortunate. I'm curious. Obviously the Historical Society here gets a lot of requests for documentaries and things because the UFO side and then obviously Billy the Kid stuff. But for Carlsbad, with the caverns, there's still a lot of history down in that end. Do you get a lot of requests from documentarians for information or access to the archives?
Yes, actually we do. They have a great library out at the Guadalupe Mountains and at the caverns themselves. So they go directly to them now. Like I said, okay. Ours are in storage. We really can't get access to it right now, but the caverns does have a wonderful archives, as at this point, to be able to offer documentarians.
Well, if anybody or you yourself are living in Lee County area or Eddy County area, are a history buff and would like to roll up your sleeves, I'm sure reaching out to Donna, she'd love to hear from you and say, hey, yeah, we'd love to get some people to get this thing back opened up. And so if anybody listening, maybe they just have to be, or maybe you're listening and say, hey, I got my friend in Carlsbad. That guy's a big history buff. So.
Yes. Well, I would love to hear. We would love to get this thing going again.
Well, I know this, like you, and you're right. How fortunate we are here in Roswell to have the access and the facilities at the Historical Society. And the reason we're lucky is because, and I serve on the board, so I can say this, we have some great people that volunteer. The board, right. Amy is our one paid employee, but she works for 12 people.
Yes, she does.
And,
yes, she does.
But that's why we're lucky, because we have dedication of some great people that love history and are dedicated to making sure it's accessible. So
exactly.
And I know Carlsbad's got them too. We just gotta turn them over, turn over those
yes,
rocks
we
and
do.
find them.
We have an amazing historical society down here. It's just we've had trouble finding a place to land in that, but
Yeah.
our society is fantastic. We've got some go-getters and people that work tirelessly on this, and it's just been amazing. Carolyn Olson is probably our version of Amy, and she is just working, just constantly trying to find some place for us to be, and I can't thank her enough for that. And one of these days it will work.
I'm never in doubt of that one. Hey, Don, while we have you here, give us an update on the author side. Like you said, I know you got your most recent book out, but give us an update there, and then talk about what you're working on now.
Okay. Well, yes, my Mission Church book is my last one. I had that one and my Hidden Gems book, which was kind of like a travel guide of all the hidden places, all the well-known and not so well-known places in New Mexico that I've encountered as I've driven through, putting like 40,000 miles on my vehicle. And so both of those came out last year. And, basically it's kind of hard to have a great fanfare during a pandemic. So, they kind of, but I'm very proud of these two books. The Mission Church was a little more difficult because I could not visit the missions and get an actual feel of what the pueblos were like because they were all closed during the pandemic. But it's such a great history, and my eyes were opened quite a bit doing the research on that one, the struggles that the indigenous people went through with the Spaniards as they came through and they converted everyone to Catholicism, and it was it was not a pleasant journey for the indigenous people, but they learned to adapt and they've worked well with it since then. But and right now I'm working on a book of ghost towns of New Mexico, and that's been fun. I haven't had to worry about the pandemic on that one because usually there's nobody there, so that's
It's the reason Ghost Town.
Yeah. So it's been fun. The chloride was fun to go through. That it's very, very well preserved. They have a hanging tree in the middle of town, which no one ever got hanged from. So whenever the cowboys were a little bit whooping it up at the 7 saloons that they had in town, they would take them to the water trough underneath the tree, kind of dunk them a little bit, get them back to their senses, and then tie them to the tree until they could figure out to do better. So that was fun.
It's more of a deterrent than an actual use for its purpose.
Right.
Do you ever get?
And then, I'm sorry.
I was going to ask, do you ever get like the sense of an explorer when you get these opportunities to go through these ghost towns and various different historic locations?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. It's so much fun. I love to travel and I love to learn new things, and I always get lost. It never fails. I always get lost. You have to get lost at least once.
That's part of the fun.
Yeah, exactly. And so, it's fun to work my way out of that. And, but it's just so much, you can just feel the history sometimes when you go into these places, and you can almost hear the whispers of the people that lived there before, and I think with the haunted hotels, I may have brought one home with me, and
oh man!
So it's been interesting. It's very, very interesting.
So, man, we're running short on time. You just cracked open another can of worms I want to open to talk about, but we'll have to save that for a future day. Hey, maybe that's another book, a paranormal history of New Mexico.
Yes. There's
I'm
been
sure
a lot of them, the haunted series through the publisher that I go through, and they have come out with a lot of haunted, Albuquerque, Santa Fe, etc.
Yeah, it's a popular genre.
Right.
All those ghost adventure shows on TV kind of sparked that interest. But for folks, Saturday, September 4th, 9 to noon is the Historic Book Fair hosted by the South Historical Society for Southeast New Mexico. It's going to be at the Archives Facility, 208 North Lee, again from 9 to noon on Saturday, September 4th. Come out and see rare, out-of-print books. Nonfiction titles will also be on sale. The $5 mystery bags. Also, don't forget, they're going to give away a free mystery bag every hour, so you might want to linger around. And then, of course, we'll have book signings from Donna here, John LeMay, David Minton. He's a historian for Lee County. Plus, some additional authors will be there as well for the event, too. Best resource for folks, RoswellNMhistory.org. If you have any questions, not only about the book fair, but also about the drive-through fall fiesta fundraising event September 30th. Don't forget the deadline to get tickets for your meals is September 3rd, the day before the book fair. And again, RoswellNMhistory.org, or you can call the Historical Society 575-622-8333. Donna, is there anything we missed that we wanted to talk about that we skipped over?
Not that I can think of. I think we pretty well covered it. I just want to say a big thank you to Amy for her continued support and bringing me in on these events. I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. She's a dear friend.
Well, we appreciate everything that you do with the Historical Society as well. And I don't know how often you get to come to Roswell, but we need to get you in studio and bring all your books in and have you do it in person with us.
Sounds good.
Awesome. Well, have an awesome weekend, Donna, and we'll talk to you again soon. We'll see you next Saturday.
Sounds great. Thank you.
All right. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, that was Donna Blake Birchall with talking about the Historical Society's big book fundraising event, the book fair, happening September 4th.
A planetarium show is at 11. Second Saturdays are generously supported by the RMAC Foundation. Education leaders in Carlsbad have approved an application for more than $8 million to come from the federal pandemic relief money to address immediate needs of schools affected by the pandemic. The funding designed to help maximize in-person learning, sustain the safe operation of schools, and address the academic, social, emotional, and mental health needs of students. And the Carlsbad City Council approves its own spending of $164 million for future public works projects. The Infrastructure Capital Improvement Plan, or ICIP, is a working list of projects in Carlsbad. You're up to date. That's a look at local news headlines. I'm Jared Sorello reporting.
Your morning cup of Sean. This is the Sean Hannity Morning Minute.
This is just not the country we are supposed to be. We have the greatest military fighting force on the face of the earth, and we never let them do their job. I've been told, confirmed, numerous reports that on this program we've had people in meetings describe that we had special forces on the ground at Karzai International Airport, ready, willing, able, and begging to go out in behind enemy lines to save Americans and escort them into the airport. And they were told to stand down. There maybe were 3 efforts total, but it was only after they were embarrassed because the French, the Dutch, the Brits, Australia announced they got every Australian out of the country. They're out. They got their people home.
The Conservative Underground meets later today on the Sean Hannity Show.
Excuse me, why don't you have life insurance yet? I've got diabetes, and I know the price will be through the roof for the pre-existing condition.
Well, actually, SelectQuote makes it easy to get very affordable life insurance, even if you have a health issue.
I'm listening.
You'll get quotes from some of the country's most trusted carriers. Even with your diabetes, you can get around $250,000 in insurance for as little as $1 a day.
That would be amazing. What's it called again?
SelectQuote. Just call or go to selectquote.com to get your free quote. Get the coverage you need at a price you can afford. Call 1-800-280-8787 or go to selectquote.com today. That's 1-800-280-8787 or selectquote.com. SelectQuote. We shop. You save. Get full details on example policy at selectquote.com/commercials. Monthly premiums vary based on health company and other factors. Not available in all states.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Things look sunny and dry today with our afternoon high hitting about 90. Overnight looks clear with our low in the upper 60s, and then high pressure will stay in place over eastern New Mexico tomorrow. Sunshine and a little bit warmer with afternoon highs in the mid-90s. Clear Tuesday night and then sunny and hot again on Wednesday, about 95. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
With the SRN News Business Brief, I'm Rich Thomason. Tropical storm Ida certain to take a toll on the energy, chemical, and shipping industries that maintain major hubs along the Gulf Coast.
Despite the toll, economists suggest the impact on the overall U.S. economy should be modest, so long as damage estimates don't rise sharply and refinery shutdowns are not prolonged. Economist Mark Zandi at Moody's Analytics said the disruptions caused by Ida will likely cause him to downgrade his forecast for annual U.S. economic growth in the current quarter by a few tenths of a percentage point. But he adds that the economic loss could be reversed in the final quarter of the year as a result of rebuilding from the hurricane's damage. Jeremy House, Washington.
A mixed picture on Wall Street at mid-morning after the key benchmarks scored near record highs in last week's trading. With business, I'm Rich Thomason.
Gosh, can anyone remember a summer as nice as this? And Roswell families are certainly making the most of it, starting with a visit to the Tailgate Nation at Roswell Ford. From pickups and SUVs to family sedans and sports cars, Roswell Ford has the area's biggest selection of pre-owned vehicles starting at just $5,000. Dozens of premium late-model vehicles ready to serve your family for many years and many miles to come. Each one has passed a thorough 139-point inspection, and Roswell Ford gives you a 3-day money-back guarantee so you can buy with confidence. Of course, Roswell Ford is always looking for gently used cars and trucks. So if you have one you'd like to sell, bring it by and let us make you an offer. You'll probably be surprised at how much it's worth. It's tailgate season, and a fresh new vehicle from Roswell Ford will help your family enjoy it like never before. So grab the cooler and the barbecue and come see us at Roswell Ford, the Tailgate Nation at the corner of 9th and Main.
Ladies and gentlemen, So Easy Sewing finally has our most popular sewing machines and sergers back in stock. We have the Zest, our entry-level machine, on sale for $149. We have the Amazing Jazz 2, which boasts a 12-inch throat, on sale for $799, and our #1 selling Verve sewing embroidery combo machine on sale for $999. All machines include lifetime instruction on the use of the machine. Hurry in to 200 East College Boulevard in Roswell to claim your new machine before they're gone. So Easy Sewing. You've never had it so easy.
You're invited to the 15th Annual Ag Invitational Golf Tournament, happening September 2nd through the 4th at the Artesia Country Club Golf Course. Proceeds raised will benefit the Eddy County, Chaves County, and Eastern New Mexico State Fair Junior Livestock Sales. Sponsorship at this year's event includes over $12,000 in prizes, plus closest to the pin, door prizes, free drinks and food, and player and sponsor gifts. Call Juan Jimenez for more information and to sign up, 575-746-6732. Presented by First American Bank, Schooler Purina, DBS Commodities, CVE, Royal Services, and Pecos Valley Equipment.
How many times do you think we could say lucky in 30 seconds? This is the lucky 13th year for the Artesia Chamber of Commerce's Clays Crusher Fun Shoot. If you're feeling lucky, please join us on Saturday, September 18th for a fun day of shooting clays. Luckily, we scored a spot at the Eddy County Shooting Range, and we'll have 2 rotations at 9 a.m. and and 1 p.m. If you're lucky, you will hit all 70 targets. If we are lucky, the weather will cooperate. It's just $150 per participant. A team of 5 is just $750, and a sponsorship is luckily $1,300. Sign up at artesiachamber.com or give us a call at 575-746-2744. We just said 7 luckies in 30 seconds. Luck must be on our side. Clay's Crusher, September 18th, artesiachamber.com. Paid for by the Artesia and Eddy County Lodgers Tax.
Platinum Auto Services specializes in complete automotive care. It's the shop that does it all. From auto diagnostics and repair to dress up, rig up, and clean up, Platinum Auto Services has you covered. Platinum accepts all fleet management accounts and offers free pickup and delivery, oil changes, tires, alignments, suspension, lift kits, and easy approval financing available for those unexpected repairs. Give us a call, the shop that does it all. Platinum Auto Services, 575-689-6900.
College football is back on the High Plains, and 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM is your Southeast New Mexico home for ENMU Greyhound football. Your ENMU Greyhounds welcome in Central Washington September 2nd, 6 p.m. Sponsored by J.P. Stone Community Bank and Rooney Moon Broadcasting to kick off the 2021 football season. Tickets are only $10 for adults. Kids 8 and under get in free. Call 575-562-2153 or visit goeasternathletics.com for more information. Eastern New Mexico football, all in.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. The verb form of the word run has been calculated to have almost 650 different meanings. So think about that the next time you run up your tab at the bar and then run into a friend while you run away from the bartender. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 9:50. Got a few minutes here before we wrap up today's show. Of course, you missed any of our interviews from today's show. You can go back and check them out at your leisure. We just shot the breeze. I guess you could say shot the breeze in the 7 o'clock hour and chit-chat about various things. In the 8 o'clock hour, we replayed our interview with Leah Boone from Central Valley Electric Cooperative, talking about home energy audits. They're also looking for a position, hiring for their front desk there at the main office. And then this hour, we replayed our interview with Donna Blake Burchell from Historical Society, discussing their rare book, historical book fair that's happening this Saturday at the Historical Society's archives facility. By the way, Friday the 3rd is the RSVP date for the Historical Society for Southeast New Mexico's fajita dinner. That's going to be happening at the end of September. Once again, Peppers will be on the grill, serving up fajitas and everything. You can buy a box that serves 2 people for $100. Comes with the fajitas and the trimmings and dessert and appetizer and all that stuff. Or for 2 people. You can also buy the dinner bundle, which is $500, and that will feed 10 people. It comes with meals for 10, and also comes with centerpiece, some swag, delivery as well. They'll deliver the boxes to where you want them to, as long as it's not, in the area. I mean, they may do an Artesia run, but they're not going to, say Texas or anything like that. So, but definitely go to RoswellNMHistory.org. There you can learn more about the book fair this weekend. There you can also learn more about the next dinner here. Sign up for that too. And also, don't forget, they're in the midst of our spare change drive, where we've got one here, and you'll see them at various other places, but bring the loose change, drop it off. You see those. All this goes to help pay for the stuff we got to pay for. We got a lot of expenses at the Historical Society with foundation and roofing, so this is covering some of that stuff. Programs and things, obviously, all part of that. So by you participating in the book fair and participating in the dinner or dropping some change off in those little change receptacles, all of that is very helpful. Also, while we're talking Historical Society, they will be hosting a blood drive later in September, on September 21st. The Bloodmobile will be at the Historical Society from noon to 5 p.m. on the 21st. You can sign up through the Historical Society or through Vitalent. And I know Amy always has little gift bags and little free stuff for folks that donate blood during the Historical Society's event. So you get extra swag at that one, too. So sign up, a great way to sign up through there, too. Matter of fact, the September list for Vitalin's blood drives is out. I got it actually over the weekend. They're going to be at J&J Home Care in Artesia from 11 to 3 on Wednesday, the 1st. And then they're going to be back here in Roswell September 3rd. They will be at the Roswell, it says Roswell Community Center. I think it's the rec center, or it could be the Recreation Aquatic Center. I'm not sure. I think it's at the rec center. That's September 3rd from 11 to 2. And then next week, they're going to be at the New Mexico Military Institute in the ballroom for 3 days on the 7th, 8th, and 9th from 11 to 4. And you can go and donate blood there. And then they'll be at the Vitalant office on September 13th, donating blood there, too. So you can donate, sign up in any of those. Hold on, I have to cough. Sorry about that. It was in there tickling, and I had to get that out. But definitely, if you can and are able to, go out there and donate blood. Let's see, what else is happening? Don't forget, if you missed any of the football or want to catch football, of course, we have that at our website, ksvptv.com. There you'll find the Roswell Coyotes and their channel of their sports. And, of course, we have their games for you right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM and video at ksvptv.com. Got it, Rocket Football. You'll find it also at ksvptv.com, the video in the Goddard Rocket channel. You'll also be able to listen to the games on the radio on our sister station, 106.1 FM Fierro. And then, of course, Artesia Bulldog fans, we got Bulldog football and sports for you in the Artesia Bulldog channel at ksvptv.com. You can also listen to their broadcasts on the radio in Artesia at 990 AM. They are also on their FM translator, 93.7 FM, which it covers. You don't really pick it up too well here, but it covers Eddy County a lot better. But you can go watch it anytime from anywhere at ksvptv.com. So even if you can't pick up radio signals, thanks to the internets, you can go out there and catch all the video on our website, ksvptv.com. And matter of fact, that's a great website for all of our video archive footage of things we've done. We were talking about in the first hour, we were talking a little bit about the People's Choice Green Chili Cook-Off Round 2 that's going to be happening in September. Round 1 is there on our 106.5, or excuse me, on our ksvptv.com website there. So you can find it all there at your leisure. No problems. All good there. Let's see. What else do we want to mention here? I think it pretty much covers it from right now. I'm kind of getting back in the groove of being back here at the office. For last week, I really didn't do much of my after work, making ads and all that stuff. So I get to get caught up on all that this week. I was pretty much just doing the stuff from home, doing the show. And so I got to get caught up on what's happening around town and getting all this stuff back together again. So it might take me a day or two to kind of get back in the swing of that. It just, you don't realize how when you're home for 2 weeks, I mean, you have the internet and you're watching your Facebook and TV and all that, so you kind of stay up to date on the big things going around the world. But then when you hear stuff happen around town, all that, I kind of miss out. I'm like, oh yeah, there's that's and so I'll get back in the groove here this week and get all that. So keep you up to date on all that stuff. But in the meantime, don't forget, like and follow the Roswell's Talk FM Facebook page. You can stay up to date on all that kind of stuff too. So let's see. So I did get a chance to watch a lot of TV over the last 2 weeks, and I've been kind of updating on some of the things I was watching during the 2 weeks I was doing the show from home there. But what I've been hooked on. They've been doing these Rockfest things on Reel's channel the last couple weekends for the last, I guess, August, maybe for all of August. I don't know. And so they've been doing a lot of these breaking the bands and all these. So if you love 80s rock particularly, it's right in your wheelhouse. Because because they've been doing they did a whole thing on Rush, like a two-hour documentary on Rush Saturday, which I have not watched yet. It's recorded, but I'm down with that. I did watch last night. They had 2 Breaking the Bands. One was Metallica, which that's my favorite band of all time. So I was watching that, and then they did one on AC/DC, which I recorded. I haven't watched it yet, but those are pretty good. The Breaking the Band, I was like, first, it's like, well, because generally the premise of that show is bands that have broken up, and here's what led to that. Well, Metallica is still a band, and they're still together. Now, granted, a lot of these bands have kind of re-emerged, and there's like maybe 1 or 2 original members, and then it's, you think of Styx, or you think of, there's a couple of those bands out there, quite a few actually. But Metallica's not that way. They technically never broke up. I mean, they've had different players in and out. I mean, the actual documentary start them off with Mustaine at the beginning there, which is very correct. But by the time they were a band that had an album and everything, Mustaine wasn't in the picture anymore. I mean, yeah, he's very much like, if you look at the Kill 'Em All album, the first album, there's at least 2 songs on there that's got Dave Mustaine writing credits. I think there's a few more on that too, but that goes away after that. And to be honest, Metallica probably didn't get the word mainstream thrown into their equation until Master Puppets, like 86. That's when they kind of got on the lexicon of other people's radar that, that weren't into underground metal music or whatever it was. First 2 albums, yeah, they